Give me one sec, buddy. I gotta work on something. Hang on. We'll get this shit figured out. Decided the thumbnail needs a little tweaking before I actually go live, so. Am I hearing children do chores? Is that a thing? Oh my god, I'm screwing things up already, guys. My kids, I swear they are just like... It's not that they're lazy per se, it's that I'm just really bad, I guess, at... I don't know. Maybe it's I'm bad at making them do chores, or... It's not that I'm too soft. Like, I can be a bit of a hard ass. That's what I thought. It's too bright in here. There we go. It's my damn RTX 5080 Super. Dude, I got a 9060. I got a 9060, 16 gig, and I'm gonna make that thing last for about the next 5 years, okay? Like, I have no desire to buy a new one anytime soon. The man in the beard on the man. It's actually starting to get a little too long to the point I'm gonna have to trim it pretty soon. Because I'm either gonna let it grow again, which I'm not gonna do, or I gotta keep it short. So. Hey, Lugia. Alright, so let's see who we got in here. Yeah, guys, I started the stream and was still working on my thumbnail. And it's like, oh, hi. Oh, shit. Good thing I'm not naked or something. Alright, who have we got in here on a Friday night? Hey, honey. Let's see, we got DB Wild, of course. Fire Scream, Stray Cell, Honey, Mlixolplix, Cage, my drunk friend. Hey, David32ICI. Marathon is for the trans non-binary furries. Yes, yes, indeed. Alright, I think we're caught up for now. And of course, Lugia. Hope you're doing well, buddy. The beard looks perfect. Perfect. I'm glad that my straight heterosexual audience approves of the length of my beard. I've heard from reliable sources you can be a bit of a hard ass, especially from behind. Yeah. No, dude, I've got a message from somebody over on Kick that says collab and then tagged me and says collab question mark. No Weston NV on Kick. Not only do I not want to collab with some dude that I've never talked to before who only just came in a minute ago, and I'm banning you. Like, fuck off, dude. Go away. I don't do that follow for follow, like for like, sub for sub shit. Dude, I tried that back in the day with Twitch. Like, oh yeah, you leave your viewer tab open for 2 other streamers and they watch your streams and all 3 of you get your affiliate program, you know, right away. And it's like, what's the point? What's the point of getting affiliated on a site like Twitch when you have no audience? It's like, oh look, I can get paid subs now. Okay, that's great. You have no fans. You have no... Jeremy Hamley, what? Oh my god. Dude... Like, I could have done a whole Jeremy Hambley stream, but I honestly approached tonight with no idea, other than the Fairgames stuff. Other than Fairgames, because Laura Fryer put out a video, so we're going to watch her video. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. There's no biscuit at the end of that circle jerk? Yeah, pretty much. Is Witcher 4 going to be a massive resource hog? My inclination would say yes. Hang on, let me check something for you guys while I'm thinking about it. Let me check something, because I don't remember how many of the DLC I have for The Witcher 3 on PC. But Witcher 3 on PC, and this is, of course, like the beefed up version where they redid the enhanced edition, or that's the regular one. Well, it's the it's just The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I think I've got a couple of DLC. Yeah, in library. So I have all the DLC, it looks like. But the game is only 57 gigabytes. That's not, I guess, not awful. Could be worse. Please, no more quartering. He'll have another meltdown next week. He's supposed to be on vacation. He's supposed to be taking a break. We all know it's not going to last long, though. Framework PC? I've never heard of that. Witcher 4 is going to be a resource hog, but they learned from Cyberpunk. Expect to be very hardware intensive. Dude, I'll tell you what's not resource intensive, at least what's not taking up a lot of space on my hard drive, is freaking Road to Vostok. That game's only 5 gigabytes. Like, I might play that game later if we wrap up the stream early. Maybe we'll stream a game for an hour or so. I don't know. My son's got a doubleheader out of town tomorrow. Hey, Avernum! Do you have coffee yet? I've got my Irish coffee here, man. You almost went to sleep? I'm so confused. You are on such a weird sleep schedule, my man. You're looking to get that game? Road to Vostok. I got it for like 13 bucks after tax because it was on sale at launch. It is pretty solid for a PvE solo extraction-based game. It's kind of, you have to kind of treat it like a roguelike to an extent. You can play permadeath where one death you're dead, or you play where your character dies, but if you put stuff, I believe, in your cabin, those items stay around even though your character dies on the spot when they get shot. So I wonder who you're talking about, DB Wild. I have no idea. About to play Final Fantasy Tactics. Ah, yeah, schedule. Yeah, no, so Fire Scream, you're 100% correct. But so far, I think I've put in about 4 hours on Road to Vostok. Guys, I haven't barely played anything this week. I was at work forever today. I'm actually going to go to work. So tomorrow I'm going to be mowing the yard in the morning. Pretty much the entire first half of the day is you can be yard work. Then double header for my son out of town. We got to go drive probably about an hour away. And then Sunday, I have to go back to work because I have to start getting ready for summer because it's my busy season. And I'm starting to stress the fuck out. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I am stressing out hard. Definitely interested in me playing that game. Maybe we'll boot it up in a little bit. Let me see how quickly we can get through all this stuff with Fairgames. I've got some other shit to talk about, but like only one real topic for tonight. A little bit different from my usual streams where I try to have like a smattering of different stuff. All right, let me see here. I'm still making a new PC mainly for Witcher 4 and Elder Scrolls 6. I'm a huge Witcher fan, so I'll play. Dude, honestly, look, I have my problems with CD Projekt Red, and I can't stand the freaking, girl gaming initiative where they're trying to like bring up girls. It's like, dude, just get the best developers you can. Stop with this sex, based bullshit or whatever. But if the game is good and it's not like pandering and shit, I have no problem with people playing the game. Like, I just got done reading the Witcher books, Hey, Mahendra, pretty much just Fairgames and some other stuff game-related. But just for that comment, I'm going to talk about the quartering for the whole next hour and a half. Just kidding. No, there is going to be... I'll be making videos on the second channel, probably. Over the weekend, probably on Sunday, once all the shit really hits the fan, because Jeremy's going to be drunk spurging out. But not tonight. I didn't have any time to prepare any of that kind of stuff for tonight. So, what do we have here? The Reek Rumble Stiltskin started following me on Rumble an hour ago. Dude, honestly, Rumble is such a botted platform, I can't tell if any of these people are even real. No idea. Can't derail a show. You can derail it. Sure, Witcher 4 won't be woke. CDPR is. Yeah. Some of the people they hired for their Boston studio has me worried. I mean, dude, it is what it is. All right. Let me get rid of the music. Get my giant face cam off of here. I'm not an e-girl. I'm not trying to sell my bath water. Not trying to link to my OnlyFans. So we can go to the small picture there. There we go. So I saw some cool stuff. Apparently, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has sold 8 million copies, which is a pretty phenomenal thing for them. I think that's awesome. I still have to finish the game. I am on like the latter part of the third act, which is a very short part of the game, and I just haven't gotten around to finishing it. I ask that question about me all the time. Am I really real, or am I just imagination of some homeless crazy guy? You are not it's not the imagination. You are in my simulation. So technically you're not real. You're existing in my simulation, but in my simulation, I'm currently not homeless. So we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to not be homeless. I'm probably going to be working a lot this summer so that I'm not homeless. But yes, currently not homeless. All right. So let's see here. From their official account, says, we're so thrilled, honestly still quite overwhelmed to announce that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has officially reached 8 million copies sold. Thank you so much to every single person who has played, created art, shared, streamed, discussed, and supported this game. Yeah, 8 million copies. I'm surprised it isn't more. But hey, like I said, I'm still putting off finishing this game. I'm waiting. I am seriously waiting because it's just one of those things where I recently finished the the 2 prequel Witcher books, the 5 Witcher books in the saga, and then I'm currently reading that last one, Season of Storms, which is like a filler book. It's like a throwaway book as far as I can tell. And I wasn't happy with the way the whole Witcher saga ended in the books. Like, it was just kind of a weird ending. I wasn't satisfied with it. So for me, I'm almost happier to leave Expedition 33 unfinished than to risk finishing the game and not being satisfied with the ending. I don't know. It's a really tough one. Apparently, I'm real enough to still annoy her. Hell yeah, man. Exactly. That's the way to go. Looks like the white rabbit in Pokemon memes. What? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I don't even know what that means. What white rabbit in Pokemon memes? Oh, the TikTok one. TikTok with the little pocket watch. I got you. Okay. Just wasn't my cup, but I'm playing weird JRPGs right now. Xbox having the new... Dude, Xbox, that's an interesting topic. You should... Chainsaw Man manga ending, it's very bad. Dude, there's a lot of bad endings. It hit you in all the right spots? Well, DB, if it hit you in all the right spots, then I'm down for it, man. You know what that means. All right, so let me see here. Another one that I saw, Windrose has already sold 1.3 million copies in 10 days. Now, guys, this game was barely less money than Marathon. Marathon's currently on sale on Steam for $32.99, I do believe. Windrose, when it came out, was $30, but I think they launched it 10% off, so like 27. So a game that was made by around 60 dudes over in Uzbekistan is outselling the current big, AAA, quadruple A, $400 million Bungie extraction shooter. Absolutely nuts. Oh yeah, the Narnia books. Yeah, no, those books have a terrible ending too. Upload yourself crying over... No, dude, the only game that I can recall getting teary-eyed... Can any of you guess the only game in the last 10 years that I've gotten teary-eyed while playing is? You probably won't guess, okay? You probably will not guess. Let me see. Pirate-themed survival game's $30 million early access start is due to a shrewd community-building campaign, generous demo, and ultimate quality. I didn't play Last of Us, man. Didn't play Five Nights at Freddy's, although I do need to pick up the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Last of Us probably wouldn't affect me at all. I don't like the characters. I don't like the look of the characters. Nothing about them to me is appealing. I don't know. Let me see. Made by Kraken Express, 60 guys in Uzbekistan. Since Windrose's early access launch on April 14th, it's generated 30 million in gross. Starfield made me cry when I tried to run it not on my SSD. I'm like, why is this so bad? It was so Gears of War. No, I'll just let you guys know. It was Titanfall 2. I am not even kidding. I got through the campaign on Titanfall 2, and you get to the end where BT is going to sacrifice himself and to save the pilot. And oh my God, that whole, Protocol 3 or whatever he says, protect the pilot. I'm not kidding. I got teary-eyed. Okay. It actually brought a tear to my eye. Yeah, that hit hard, dude. Chop some onions, put them around your keyboard. Yeah. Tons of bad endings in mangas and comics and novels. Attack on Titan's one I've been recommended, but I don't know, man. I'm always worried to try to jump into manga or anime at this point, having never really exposed myself to it other than Pokemon, watching it with my kids. I'm like, I don't know if I would have a good barometer to measure what's good and what's not good when it comes to anime. Titanfall 2 was awesome. No, it wasn't that hard. The game was actually, the campaign is relatively easy. I don't remember struggling with the campaign at all. Oh, dude, Stray Cell, the game is good. The multiplayer still has a very small fan base, core dedicated fan base left. There's not many players currently playing Titanfall 2 anymore. Well, Titanfall 1 and 2 both had a lot of issues with hackers and stuff trying to take down the servers because EA was ignoring the games. And so to send a message to EA, they were attacking the servers, and that, sure, it didn't help. Should wait when your kids get into anime, you check which shows. I mean, dude, I don't know that they're ever going to get into anime. None of them seem to be really interested in it. Animation is sliding, the mech was awesome, dude. The whole Solid game is incredible. The entire damn thing is great. Yeah, I've only played 1 or 2 Metal Gear games, so for me that wasn't so much a thing. Here's a weird one. Saros reviews make it a Game of the Year contender. I don't understand who this game is for. I know who this game is for. It's for Sony fanboys. Like, I get it. This is a game for console warriors to play and argue over. I think Kojima's overrated. I think most people think he's overrated to a certain degree. I was thinking Team Fortress 2. Dude, honestly, anytime I see TF2, I think people are talking about Titanfall, and then I stop and I go, oh, wait a second. Team Fortress. Got it. Yeah, Saros. I don't know, man. People are like, this is just like an Indian-skinned Returnal or whatever. And for me, I've watched gameplay, I've watched trailers. Nothing about this looks appealing. I don't get it. JRPG games try to get into Tales series like Tales of Grace. Huh. Dude, honestly, I mean, Cage, I know your opinion on Sony's and all that kind of Sony, the ponies and all that. I don't even care. Like, you can do your console warring, that's fine. I just don't understand what the appeal of this game is. I don't see it. This is another one of those games where if it does well, if it succeeds, I'm going to be scratching my head going, I don't understand why. Like, what is it about this game that has anybody interested in it? You know? I've heard nothing about it and can see why. Well, MLixel, they've been doing a lot of promotion for this game. This game actually had a feature at the Game Awards, I want to say, and it was pretty hyped up. There's been a lot of talk about the game. So let me bring up the... let me find a trailer for it real quick, just to kind of give you an idea. Pretty sure there's like a quick gameplay trailer. No, I don't want to watch a whole review. No, not the launch trailer. 15 minutes? Okay, we can go to the 15 minutes of gameplay, and that'll kind of tell you all you need to know from that. PlayStation games except for Bloodborne are mid. I don't even need to try to change anybody's mind about that. That's the thing. Like, dude, honestly, what does Xbox have going for it in terms of exclusives anymore? Halo? Give me a break. Halo's dog shit, right? So I feel like Xbox and Sony are in the same situation there where a lot of people are losing like the appeal of the God of War games is starting to wane. People aren't that interested in the God of War series as much as they used to be. A lot of people had, issues with Ragnarok is what I always hear. So other than The Last of Us, which isn't going to continue on as far as I know, I don't think they're making a Last of Us 3, or are they? I can't remember. Xbox, yeah. I don't even console war. Obsidian's woke slop. Game looks like generic shooter game, which is nothing. I mean, that's the thing. It just looks very generic. So, hang on.
Hello, Simon from IGN here with some brand new...
Simon, I'm going to mute you because I don't care, and you're pissing me off. This is what I'm talking about here, guys. I don't see what's to care about in this game.
The game is for bullet hell fans, like me.
Bullet hell fans. I'd have to look at the gameplay side by side to really see that comparison for myself. But thanks for the 2, Luz. Yeah, maybe we'll pull up a trailer for Bullet Hell afterwards. Or are we talking? Is that like a genre of games, kind of like those vampire survivors type games? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, bankruptcy declared. Yeah. Mahendra, I'm not gonna read every single text out loud, man. You can't keep spamming and telling me to read everything that you type, dude. I try to read as many of the chats as possible. See, for me, I just don't really... I don't know. And is it weird that I kind of feel like the entire environment's kind of generic? Like it is... I don't know. I don't see it. For me, nothing about this is appealing. It looks like that that Outriders or whatever that game was, that live service game that got canceled years ago. If it didn't get canceled, it's like dead. The entire aesthetic, the vibe of the game. Looks like a Doom game, yeah. A little bit, but not as good. Bullet hell is a genre. Okay, for example, also known as epilepsy simulators. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those, man. I feel like the Freya spinoff is not going to perform well. That's the thing. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even care about a spin-off featuring another character if it was a good character. I don't understand a franchise that was founded like the bedrock of the franchise was Kratos, right? You know, strong, masculine, very, very much that man's man kind of character. And then you get to the point where they basically, feminized him, made him more of like the babysitter and all that kind of crap, where they've essentially, for a lot of people, destroyed what made the character great. And now you're going to do a spin-off in the same series, even if it's not the same character, it's the same series, right? It's supposed to be your core fan base is going to be the same fans, the people who played God of War before. Otherwise, people who didn't play God of War probably aren't going to care. And you're switching up the character to a woman. I'm sorry, like I don't care how badass the woman is, it's not the same thing, you know? Looks boring Bioshock game, much better gun gameplay with unique plasma attack. I just don't think it looks good, to be honest. I played Outriders with 2 buddies and had a blast. I was really hoping Outriders was going to be good. And I don't know, man. Nothing about it really kept me. Like, I probably played it for about a week when I was originally just streaming on Twitch. And after a while, I was like, yeah, I'd rather play Apex, you know? Didn't have a live service model. It shipped complete and had an expansion months after launch. So it wasn't live service. So, okay, I was under the impression... Again, I didn't play it much, so I couldn't remember if it was live service or not. But that was like 5 years ago, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, if you're into this kind of gameplay, I could see it being appealing. For me, the gameplay is just nothing... Yeah, I think Nier Automata, yeah, that would be a lot more fun than this, in my personal opinion. So... Not something that I would really find that fascinating. Game of the Year contender. I'm sorry. There's just no way. No way it's a Game of the Year contender. There's just not happening. Kratos doesn't even feel Greek anymore in the new God of War games. God of War is very popular here in Greece. I mean, dude, obvious reasons, right? Obvious reasons. Yeah, no, it's sad. It is a bummer. But again, as somebody who didn't play the games, I don't... It's not like how I played Halo when they first came out, right? The very first Halo game, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo ODST. Loved Halo. Everything about my childhood was like Nintendo games, Legend of Zelda, Halo, Star Fox, F-Zero GX, all that kind of stuff. Like, that was my childhood, right? Then it's like, okay, so now the current state Halo is in is awful. You couldn't pay me to play a Halo game now. I just absolutely don't want to. So in that respect, it's like I can understand what God of War fans are going through because God of War has been around forever. It's kind of like the same thing with like Tomb Raider. I played a Tomb Raider game once upon a time. I didn't care. Wasn't for me. Yeah, Game of the Year to the games journalist, dude. That's all that matters. Bullet hell games are a nice genre. Yeah, I could see people enjoying it. Hey, Black Cat. Outriders reminding me too much of Hellgate, London's Fall from Grace. These companies own they need players, but release thinking that they can fix it over time. So correct me if I'm wrong. Outriders, it wasn't live service at all. It was just multiplayer, right? So you could play it completely offline. Huh. Yeah. Well, God of War had the sex minigame in it. Yeah, exactly. The trilogy was good, and someone from Greece, it felt really cool seeing Greek mythological gods. Well, Fire Scream, that was the weirdest thing. I love Norse mythology as much as anybody. So for me, if I was to rank like my favorite mythologies, it's probably Greek, then Norse, and then everything else. I very barely like care about Egyptian, and any other mythologies I just don't really care as much about. So PvE. But it was multiplayer, right? I'm pretty sure it was multiplayer. Like, you could play with, I think, up to 2 other people. So, I mean, for me, it's like, you would think I'd be all about, hey, that's really cool. They combined Kratos with Norse mythology. But for me, I'm scratching my head like, why would you make a game set with the Greek pantheon and then blend it with Norse? I think that's really strange. PvE really explains my life to a T. Oh, my God. All right, let's see. Moving on here. Jason Schreier. Oh, Jason Schreier. This is a good one, guys. This right here actually makes me laugh, right? I'm more into Egyptian and Babylonian mythology rather than Norse. See, I don't like it. Egyptian mythology's okay. Norse, in my opinion, is like goated. You know, It is Norse is goated. The only thing, in my opinion, better than Norse is Greek. Greek, I don't know that most people would disagree that Greek mythology might be the absolute top tier for any mythologies. They should have went for the Roman pantheon and played into the whole deja vu joke with it. Deja vu joke. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Do you mean because the Greek and Roman gods were basically the same, just with different names, or Hey, Vernon, one of us is too tired to get that joke. Let's see. I like the blend of mythos, but Kratos should still be Kratos. Oh, exactly. All right. Hey, I'm not too retarded. I got it. All right. So Jason Schreier says that almost every major studio is already using Gen AI tools behind the scenes. Shocker! Wow. I can't read that fire scream, but hell yeah, whatever you just said. I read Greek mythology for fun as a kid, so the original God of War trilogy came out as perfect. Dude, every kid in my generation grew up on movies like Clash of the Titans. At least I would assume, because I was born in 86. Clash of the Titans came out, I think, late 70s, maybe really early 80s. And movies like that, dude, like goated, you know? Explains why the current games have no soul. Exactly, Trevor. Yeah, hey, welcome in. I know I always see you in comments on videos. I don't think you make it to too many live streams. Good to see you, bud. Let me see. Oh, white boy angst time. Yeah, I could see that. Mini Hollywood game. Mini Hollywood. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. Greek mythology. Dude, Clash of the Titans, even the remake wasn't terrible. Definitely not a great movie. Not nearly as good as the original, in my opinion. But, you know, that was also around the same time that What's-His-Face made Avatar. So the dude that made Avatar, Sam Worthington. So he was the hero of Avatar, right? And I think right around the same time he got cast as Perseus in the Clash of the Titans remake. And yeah, the movie had definitely had some issues, but it was all right. I thought it was okay. The sequel was terrible. Sequel was awful. Like, I remember it being genuinely awful. Oh, dude, Stray, I 100% agree with that, man. You can't pick a favorite mythology, delve too much into too many of them. Find things from each that are both awesome or utter BS. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. If I was going based on my childhood, I would say Norse is the best, just based on what I really enjoyed watching as a kid and reading about. But then it's like I really fell in love with Norse mythology over the years. And then I'm like, well, then I learned to speak German, Scandinavian adjacent, you know, different languages I know, but still similar roots and heritage and stuff. And beyond that, it's like, well, then you get into like the Swedish metal and like bands like Brothers of Metal and stuff that sing about like Viking shit. It's like, it's all very cool. Decent crime movie called Man on the Ledge. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I thought Terminator Salvation was actually a good movie. That's one of those unpopular opinions, you know? You fight Perseus as a boss in God of War 2. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I kind of wish they went with ancient mythology for Egyptian mythology instead of Norse mythology. You know what? Actually, I think that would have made more sense. Or at least if you were like a Roman character with Egyptian mythology, because those empires existed at the same time. They could have tied that historically together. But again, Kratos being Greek, not much you can do about that. It's right next to Greece. Exactly, Korean cowboy. It's either Norse or Egyptian. It's funny. I've never I liked a lot of the stories out of like the Egyptian mythological like stories and characters and stuff. But for me, something about Egyptian mythology just never really resonated, you know? Stray, I took German for about a year and a half, 2 years solid. And I used to be not fluent in it, but I could definitely, if I needed to, I could have gotten around Germany. Now I'm very, very rusty. First half is good. Second half fell off bad. It's been a while. It's a long while since I watched that movie. Indian and Japanese mythology stories. Yeah, I need to actually brush up on some of those. The Henry Cavill movie Immortals, 2011. Yeah, well, the thing is, JG, a lot of people latched onto Norse mythology. For whatever reason, I guess it's because like shows like with the Vikings and all that kind of crap got popular all around the same time. And it just made it to where everybody was like, hey, I'm a Viking now. You got some trans lesbian black woman with a shaved head and dreadlocks on Twitter. And she's like, I'm a Viking. It's like, no, you're not. Like, look, I would have to do a DNA test, and my DNA test would come back as like maybe 2% Scandinavian. Like, no, I'm not a Viking. I probably have zero heritage when it comes to Scandinavians. My ancestors were like primarily Sicilian, Irish, Dutch, a little bit of French, and that's about it. I don't think I've got any Scandinavian in me, so I would never call myself a Viking. Hellblade 1 was great. I really enjoyed it. I get not everyone liked the gameplay of that game, but I thought Hellblade 1's storytelling, narrative, the atmosphere was awesome. Yeah. Dripped out Roman Kratos. I love Henry Cavill, and I also accept that he's been probably cast in too many different things because basically, who else are you going to put into a movie like that? It's the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in where you do get sick and tired of seeing the same guy over and over and over again, but at the same time, who the hell else are they going to put in it? It just makes perfect sense to use Henry Cavill. Why not? I'd rather see him in it than somebody else, Oh, Rise of Rome. That's one that I've almost picked up a dozen times. Hence Dante's Inferno and Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Dude, both games are awesome. Dante's Inferno and Castlevania Lords of Shadow, if I was doing my top 20 games list, both of those games would be in the top 20. Probably closer to the bottom, like in the 15 to 20 category, just because there's so many other great games. But Dante's Inferno and the Lords of Shadow, the first one, was incredible. Great game. Irish and Native American mythology? Yeah, that'd be cool. But fuck Pedro Pascal. Hell no. No, absolutely not. All right, so he was replying. This is about the AI use. He was replying to a fresh interview with Jack Buser, Google's Cloud Global Director for Games. I think what players don't realize is that their favorite games right now were already built with AI. Those games have shipped. Busser said that 9 out of 10 developers are using AI. According to him, the tools are mostly being used to kill off the boring, repetitive stuff so artists and designers can focus on the important creative work. Okay, so here's the thing. I know that many of us who take issue with a lot of the things Daniel Vaver has either said or done, especially with like a lot of the discussion and discourse around Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and the choices that were made in that game, the way he handled the criticism, like there's plenty of legitimate criticism to be had. But this goes back to what he actually said about AI use, and that essentially AI is the future for game development in terms of why would I have a person spend hours of their time writing basic responses to your character for like filler when I could just have AI say, hey, make that NPC when they bump into my character say something different each time. Make it more natural. Make it say something else, right? Those are those things where AI actually fills those mundane jobs that can be done much more, seamlessly with AI. Now, AI is still going to have issues with, of course, like voice acting and not coming across natural and having translation issues and whatnot. But I mean, the reality is they're going to be using AI for a lot of these mundane things, I wish Dante's Inferno finished the Divine Comedy trilogy. What was the other game? I'm so confused. Let me see. Lords of the Fallen was in PS Plus this month. I got too many Souls likes. Oh my god. For real? Wow, that's crazy. Oh yeah, Cage. No, fantastic games, man. We've lost a generation of talent. All the woke pieces of garbage can never continue the acting prowess we saw growing up. The crazy thing is a lot of them were also, woke, but they were woke for like what the 70s were and 80s were. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the, let's say, Marxist brain rot, mind virus shit that we talk about these days. It was so different. Muda said that AI takes so much resource on GPU than gaming. Well, they'd have to figure out how to actually integrate it properly. What I'm talking about is just from the developer side of things, when you have a game like, let's say, Kingdom Come Deliverance for prime example, because there are so many NPCs in the game, so many side quests and stuff. You finish your main dialogue with the character, and then after a while, you get to a point where the characters, the NPCs, only repeat the same line or same couple of lines every time you go to talk to them. With AI, you could create the ability for it to change what is said in those moments to make it seem more natural, Once the worst AI voices were used in Ace. Dude, the whole shiitake? Yeah, the AI voice acting is bad, but it's also useful. Yes. Yeah, 100%. Image generation is the one that uses your GPU more than games, not text. Right. Right. So they did just hell. He is supposed to chase the devil through purgatory and then heaven. They were setting up that a demon's trying to get to heaven to kill God. Oh, that would have been fascinating, man. So what was I thinking about? I was going to say something else, but I cannot remember now. They made an animated movie off Dante's Inferno? Shit, I got to look that up. All right, let's just go ahead and move on. Oh, you know, I was going to bring up some of this stuff with like the Xbox things, because I know Cage is probably really excited about all this Xbox news. Let me see if there's a quick article summary of what's going on with Xbox right now, because it is worth mentioning. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to fix everything. I'm not saying that Xbox is going to become the battle back against PlayStation and Nintendo to become the new console leader, but it is interesting to see. Let me see here. I think this Tom's Hardware article is probably going to be a good summary here, because this will go right into another thing. Actually, hang on a second. I'm going to save the Xbox story for a minute. We'll jump into that in a minute. AI voice can be used in game development and remove. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They can use it for different things as well. So, all right. No, Tom's Hardware. I'm not signing up. Piss off. All right. Let's talk about Black Flag for a few minutes. Let's talk about Black Flag, because I'm sure a lot of you people are where I'm at, where Black Flag remastered, or what are they calling it, resynced, sounds like a great idea, right? On paper, sounds cool. I just don't care. I don't know. My memory of Black Flag when I first played it was so fond and so great. I loved the sea shanties, loved the sea battles, loved diving into the ocean, even though I freaking hate sharks and I hate the ocean, and I can't imagine ever going in the middle of the ocean and going in the water. It terrifies me, right? There are two things in life that I'm probably the most scared of. Extreme heights, like if you do like a VR thing and you look down at the top of a tower, that'll make me like crap myself. Like there's no way, I can't do that. And then being in the ocean surrounded by sea life, okay? You know where I am? I don't care either. You people. You know what I mean by you people, Avern. I'm talking about you people. They said it costs about 80 to 100 billion to build the facility for AI. That's insane. So how do they force IDs? Talking about, yeah, I didn't even pull up the whole. I got the email too. I saw Smash JT talk about it. The email from Ubisoft about forcing age verification or ID or whatever. I used to scuba dive. It wasn't that bad, but I feel you. For me, it's one of those things. I don't know. Thalassophobia. Yeah, it's tall-assophobia. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah, they got rid of the modern missions in Black Flag and changed up the combat to kind of match Shadows. So, all right. So here was the trailer. This is the launch trailer, I think. It's like a minute long. I didn't like Unity. Unity is where I finished Unity, then I quit. I was done.
We fly no colors out here, but praise the lack of them. So let the Black Flag signal nothing but your allegiance to man's natural freedoms. If a man plays the fool, then it's all.
Of course, it's a Twitter video, so that the quality is going to be ass. I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can do about that. Yeah. I'll watch the actual 8 minutes of gameplay on YouTube.
Only fools you'll persuade, but appear to be the devil. And all men will submit.
We're pirates, kid. We take as we please and become who we like.
You know, Mahendra, it's not so bad in games that are like third-person games or even first-person, provided it's not like a VR situation. I'm talking like the only time in a game or anything that's like that's virtual or digital that I'm doing, it's got to be like a VR headset where you are literally looking straight down at like a bottomless pit kind of thing.
Look at you. It's not who you are.
Who am I then?
You're a wonder, Kenway. You've a knack for this kind of work.
It ain't work if you love it.
I think that's the UE5 effect, dude. It is UE5, I imagine, right? So, all right. Let me pull up the actual... Let me go here. Was this Saros? Okay, let's go... I think I actually have it. Here we go. This is the official game reveal. Let me switch cameras here. We'll go bigger screen. Pause that. Unmute that. It's their Anvil engine. Yeah, the thing is, Mlixel, I just don't care. Like, could the remake be good? Sure. I just don't really care. I played Black Flag. I don't have time to play a remake of a game that I played 10, 15 years ago. How long has it been? I can't even remember how, like, when I played it. Play the CG trailer? Well, I'm going to play this because this is the 8 minutes and 40 seconds that got revealed, I think, earlier yesterday or today.
Hello, pirates. Matt Ryan here, the voice of Edward Kenway. And this is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. 13 years after the original, this remake brings the classic game back to life.
Dude, I didn't realize how rough it looked back in the day. Ubisoft just recycling old hits. Yeah. Dude, the Prince of Persia series, I'm almost happier with them just leaving it alone. You know they'd fuck it up.
Rebuilt from the ground up with the latest Anvil engine to deliver the most thrilling pirate adventure. All right, let's set sail.
Dash my buttons.
Yeah, Angels, I kind of feel that way too.
So full of adventure.
And you know, I know everyone's gonna have a different opinion about how it looks terrible, it looks awful. No. Here's the thing: this remake, Black Flag Resynced, obviously it looks better in terms of like the actual quality of the effects, the lighting, the water, the textures, all that kind of stuff. The question is, do you like it better? Does it look more appealing? Two things can be true. It can technically look better while still not being as appealing to look at or whatever,
It's Captain Edward Kenway, a rebellious scoundrel eager to make a name for himself in the pursuit of glory, freedom, and a search for a better life.
I've seen your face before. You
Non-binary secret child.
in Nassau.
Shut your bloody gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
Edward, is it?
After crossing paths with the Assassins and Templars, Edward is drawn into their centuries-old conflict with secret locations and legendary treasures at stake. Along the way, he joins forces with infamous pirates such as Anne Bonny, Charles Vane, and Blackbeard.
I love that this is the same Ubisoft that when they made Anne Bonny in Skull and Bones, they made her black. Oh my god.
With them, he helps establish a short-lived, lawless republic following the pirate code and defying empires built on cruelty and greed. Together, in their search for freedom, power, and
they mostly
riches,
added more plant
they'll
life.
fight across a treacherous tropical paradise, from dangerous waters to dense jungles, untamed lands and bustling historical cities.
What did Taika Waititi do?
From the grandeur of Havana, the thriving and wealthy jewel of the
Later,
Caribbean
Mahendra.
ruled by Templars, to Kingston's bustling trade hub, and Nassau, the beating heart of the pirate republic. Each city offers a distinct atmosphere shaped by opportunities and conflicts. The Caribbean world reaches a new level of immersion and realism, powered by high-resolution textures.
Not for 60? Yeah, I could see picking it up after it's gone down in
Strikingly
price.
detailed environments, and a new dynamic weather system. Even underwater exploration is more expansive, more beautiful.
The
and
HBO
more
show, really?
perilous than ever before. With seamless access to cities and locations, the world feels truly alive. Creating the
Who's to say it won't be 70? That's a good question. Skull and Bones was inspired by it, yet rejected because they were they gave away too much. Gonna get a fuck ton of pirate games for the next 10 years. You know, Avernum, that is the only downside. That really is the only downside that could come out of this, is that it's like everything is going to be a pirate game now. It's like, let's not have that. Let's not do that. You know, the ones that excel, we should definitely, I encourage playing. Hell, I'd be picking up Windrose right now if I didn't have a million other games to play, you know? He made a gay pirate show. Holy shit, that man is so weird.
Backdrop for a life on the edge, where freedom is earned and danger is never far away.
Yeah, dude, Skull and Bones was just a terrible idea.
Lads. The combat system has been entirely reworked into an...
Okay, somebody tell me, because I don't remember. I saw this clip, this one segment where he's fighting right here. Now, I played every Assassin's Creed game from the first through Unity and then stopped. So I didn't play Syndicate. I didn't play the spin-off. I didn't play like Origins or whatever those, the Greek and Egyptian ones were and all that. Was there no blood? Was there no blood at all in Assassin's Creed? That's what I'm curious about. Like, I'm watching these fights, and I'll go ahead and play it while we're talking.
Action-oriented experience. While wielding dual swords.
There's no blood visible at all.
And hidden blades.
Not when he stabs them, not when he...
Now plays a
I don't know.
role with faster, more fluid attacks and combos.
Like, slit this guy's throat here, no blood.
Parry to open up your target for an instant kill. Then follow with
Skewer is this guy right here. No blood at all.
Use walls, ledges, and breakables to your advantage. Keep track of your opponents.
And keep in mind, this is the same Ubisoft that just made Assassin's Creed Shadows that went so over the top with blood and gore that it was like I'm not grossed out by it as a gamer. I'm like, I've seen far worse, but it's like it looked like grotesque because it seemed so out of place, right? It seemed so extra.
Level the playing field.
There was never blood? Yeah, I don't remember.
But fight recklessly. And you
Pirates in the Caribbean levels of violence.
Whether you're on the hunt or on the run.
Yeah, you know, Trevor, I remember something about that. I actually don't remember. I didn't remember it until now. There was something, some government grant they got or whatever. Oh, so they removed the blood because of broadcasting limitations. Yeah, it could be because YouTube turned off blood for the trailer. Can't have blood in our M-rated games now. Come on. There was some blood, but very little. Yeah, I'm not asking for Assassin's Creed to be like a straight up like gory game. Like, you know, if I want to get my fill of decapitations and whatnot, play like Mordau or Chivalry or some shit like that, you know, that's all good. But yeah, that's crazy.
Mastering your environment is key. As you navigate through cities,
less we talk about
jungles,
Shadows, the better.
You'll experience smooth and improved iconic parkour moves. From free jumps to back ejects and side ejects. These options offer a range of reactive movements, giving you tighter control, resulting in greater speed and deadlier assassinations. Being a pirate assassin often calls for a subtle approach. With Resynced and its enriched stealth system, you can now crouch freely as part of your toolkit to approach targets.
You know, like I said, the game technically looks good. I just don't really think I care. That's just kind of where I find myself, really.
Tailing and eavesdropping missions have also been revamped.
Oh, this part's bullshit.
Discovered meant instant desynchronization. Yes, this was a pretty big pain point. We remember. Now, the action continues. Your objectives remain, but your target will react, and you must adapt accordingly.
So you can just kill the target instead. That is so stupid.
All these new interactions offer multiple ways to succeed and progress in
It'll be better than Shadows, no doubt.
Of course. This wouldn't be a real pirate adventure.
Hey, wait, Elder Scrolls 6 to have shipbuilding? Oh my god.
Jackdaw. You named your brig after a poxy bird.
The Jackdaw.
When I was watching Endymion, he often talked about having to show a lot of his game B-roll in black and white because they would get flagged for gore. Damn. I here's the thing. Okay, look. I don't like games where you have to spend, like, my one issue with the Assassin's Creed franchise was the amount of sneaking around you had to do. Like, I just wanted to often just kill the characters. Like, just kill the enemies, right? Enough of this sneaking and tailing them and eavesdropping bullshit. But if it's part of the game, it's part of the game, right? So now they're just saying, you can just say, fuck the eavesdropping, I'm just going to go kill my target. Well, if the mission is to collect information by eavesdropping, and you can just get around it by just killing them, then how... that just doesn't make any sense. He's making a Judge Dredd movie, oh my god. Let's see, somebody wasn't here 10 years or 15 years ago, no blood requirement is a new lame thing, are we ever going to go back to normalcy? Probably not. Probably not.
What a beauty. Set sail and freely roam the Caribbean. Now equipped with even more firepower, the Jackdaw can conquer the high seas like never before. With new alternate fire upgrades for every weapon, you now have more power and flexibility to overcome opponents' ships in any situation.
Dude, I remember loving playing this game. Like memories and shit were very fond of this game. Journo Dan mode. Ah, fuck you, man.
You will engage in epic battles, boarding parties, and fort raids. All of these are back and as challenging, dangerous, and exciting as ever. To reinforce your crew, 3 brand new officers make their entrance.
JG, you know the thing about it is, the sneaking to assassinate, like the skulking around, scaling walls, all that kind of stuff never really bothered me. It was just the tailing missions. That was it. I didn't mind the assassinations and the sneaking around. It was just when you had to follow, like, stay, 20 meters exactly behind this target, or if they, they notice you at all. It's like, nah, man, I just can't.
The Padre and Deadman Smith. Each officer has a unique narrative questline that reveals their backstory. Gain their trust to recruit them to your crew and benefit from their special gameplay abilities. Deadman Smith, for example, unlocks a double shot from broadside weapons. Explore the Caribbean alongside your crewmates and trusty pet. That's right, you can now find a cat or monkey for the Jackdaw.
Oh, yep, now the game's gonna sale. They added a freaking pet. Oh my god. The RoboCop game is always on sale. It's like $5 or $7 on sale usually. And I was always toying around with the idea of picking it up, but the only issue I have with it is I feel like, once again, like every other game, I'll never get around to finishing it. Especially because, like, RoboCop moves like 5 miles an hour. He moves so slow. Well, I guess that's not slow for walking, but still. Tailing missions are also my most disliked. When I played Elder Scrolls Online, there's a number of them, and they always suck. Dude, they suck so bad. Yeah, I only ever owned 1 or 2 Hitman games. And to be honest, I don't remember if I finished it. It was on my GameCube.
Engage and plunder other vessels.
I typically on Hitman, I usually would just try to just kill everybody. Like if I fucked up and I couldn't, actually complete the whatever the mission was, I'd just kill everybody. It's on Game Pass? Well, I went ahead and re-upped Game Pass because they did the tier bracket price difference where now you can do like the lower tier version of it for like I got it for like $13 through Instant Gaming, which was cheaper than buying Hogwarts Legacy for my daughter. Because I'm like, well, if Hogwarts Legacy is cheap enough, I'll just pick it up and then I don't need Game Pass, right? That was my plan. But then I couldn't get Hogwarts Legacy on Instant Gaming for the US. They were out of copy. So like for this month, I'm like, all right, if you're going to keep playing Hogwarts Legacy, I'll do Game Pass for 1 more month. But in general, I'm like, I asked my kids the other day, I'm like, do you guys even use Game Pass? And my son's like, well, for Among Us. I'm like, Among Us is a $3 game. I will buy you Among Us.
Violent storms, rogue waves, or just soak.
Wait, JG. Assassin's Creed is originally supposed to connect to the Prince of Persia that takes place in modern time, but use the machine to, like they do in the game, to try to find the time debt. What? No way. That's crazy. Oh, you can add a dash ability. Yeah. The one time I saw somebody playing the RoboCop game, it looked incredibly slow.
Regaled by shanties new and old.
For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Hey!
Dude, I loved the sea
Assassin's
shanties
Creed
in
Black
this game.
Flag Resynced offers a deeper, more immersive adventure that remains faithful to what players love, while enriching the experience with enhanced gameplay features.
But
fresh
call me
quests,
crazy. Call me crazy. I saw Clean over on Twitch playing Mountain Blade Bannerlord War Sales, the DLC. And honestly, I would rather pick up War Sales and just play more Mountain Blade Bannerlord. If you have the chance to play Lord of the Rings War in the North. Ooh. Was that connected to Battle for Middle-earth? Or was it a completely different game? Because I actually have both Battle for Middle-earth 1 and 2, and I had the DLC for, or the expansion. What would they? I think they called it an expansion pack back then for Battle for Middle-earth 2, but I can't remember if it was the same name or not. Great games.
Including ones for the officers you met
They
earlier.
changed it to an original
Just
IP
between
instead.
you and me.
Interesting.
New narrative arcs involving our old friends, Blackbeard and Steed. Defy empires and relive the era's explosive events amidst the ancient war
Oh, that's
between
awesome.
assassins and Templars.
I haven't
in
used
the
Pandora in
ultimate pirate
years.
Fantasy. Gold, infamy, and adventure await. It's time to raise the black flag again.
I mean, I'm sure that the game will actually do well. I'm sure they'll sell copies. No doubt about that. So yeah, the original video I had pulled up was one that Grums shared here. But I didn't want to watch that because Twitter sucks for video uploads. December points out at 5 minutes and 12 seconds in the game that they've altered the eavesdropping missions because when you get caught, you fail the mission, and that was a pain in the ass. So now if you get caught, nothing happens. You just enter combat and beat the mission anyways. This is fucking retarded. I just don't get it. Why do stupid-ass decisions like these keep getting made that do nothing but further dumb down game challenges or difficulty, and why are we praising this? My bar ain't that low. The Ubisoft redemption arc would be to rework the eavesdropping missions into being more than following two NPCs inside a circle. Maybe play around with new stealth mechanics and level design. This is just more Ubislopification. I kind of agree with that, to be honest. AC Brotherhood is one of the best. Brotherhood might be one of my favorite games. Not even, I mean, the Ezio trilogy is one of the best, in my opinion, as far as like in gaming. As far as like, if you just want to talk about games and trilogies, but Brotherhood was one of my favorites. I want a good Warhammer Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, or Warcraft mod for Mountain Blade 2. I'm pretty sure they have one. I am pretty sure that they have one. They were talking about that on stream when Clean was playing it, that there's actually I think there's a Lord of the Rings mod for that. I'm pretty sure. But I have not checked. I know that there's an online, it's not a fantasy one, it's just the game, but it's like it's Bannerlord Online, so it's actually like, you know, a server for people to play multiplayer. Similar to DMC, it was also originally supposed to be connected to Resident Evil. Wait. How was DMC supposed to be connected to Resident Evil? Oh, I specified good. Okay. No, but War Sales actually looks good. Not even kidding. I was watching him play that. I'm like, that shit looks fun. Like fun as hell. Like crazy fun. Okay, Scouter V says, Ubisoft can't help themselves. They not only censored the female NPCs in the Black Flag remake, but went out of the way to make them fat and ugly. Nothing is sacred. Did they? So this is the remake. I mean, this is the problem with trying to judge, like, with remake characters, NPCs, like the hookers, the whores, that kind of stuff, from old games. You would imagine it's kind of like it's the Lara Croft triangle boob conversation, right? Nobody thought triangle boobs were hot. It was what the triangle boobs were supposed to represent. these characters on their own don't look hot because they look very old and dated as far as the graphics go. But what you'd imagine they would look like modernized probably wouldn't look like this, you know? I don't know. We're going to mod that shit out. You dig some pointy titties? Well, then you should like Melanie Mac. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I said nothing. All right, let's zoom back out a bit. Yeah, I guess I could kind of see what he's pointing at there, what he's looking at. I don't know. But, all right, moving on to Cage, his favorite topic, Xbox. Xbox outlines broad plan to revitalize brand with a back-to-basics approach that focuses on console. New Xbox strategy reprioritizes console while bolstering cloud and services. No one really cares about these side-by-sides. Most people believe Ubisoft's incapable of making anything not Ubisoft anymore. If the game is fun, people will play it. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, I think that one detail I don't think is going to be like a massive holdup for anybody. It's just weird, you know? We're going to have hot redheads with massive memories and cat ears. Oh my god, dude. Look at the Gothic remake. I've seen something about that where the characters are all like ugly, androgynous or some shit. I don't know, man. But this is an interesting one because I know a lot of people were concerned about Asha Sharma when she first took over at Microsoft. And of course, they're, I guess, rebranding from Microsoft Gaming back to Xbox. They've reduced the price of Game Pass, so that's definitely smart. They killed off Call of Duty as a day one, exclusive, which I think is great. Well, not exclusive, but like included with Game Pass. Basically, they now have 2 tier systems. All the games that are currently out are on the lower tier, and if you want games day one, you have to pay for the higher tier, but the higher tier went from 30 to 23. So in terms of pricing, that's obviously a win. That's something we don't see. We never see subscription services reduce their price without significantly cutting quality. In this case, it's simply, yeah, nobody cares about Call of Duty. Call of Duty sucks anyways. So in this case, I think it's kind of a win, right? Yeah, we watched the trailer for the new Metro game last stream or a couple of days ago. It looks interesting. As somebody who doesn't play Metro, it looks interesting. I mean, my kids use the Xbox that we have. We have 2 Xbox Ones, one that I got from my brother and one that I have had for years. And, they play on them. But my oldest son plays on the PC. My kid will use my PC if they need to use it for a certain game. We're pretty, as far as like eclectic when it comes to what we have for gaming, but nothing. I don't have any modern gaming consoles. I don't have an Xbox, Series S or X, and I don't have a Nintendo Switch 2. So you're not in the mood to defend this? No, man. I think they're honestly making good decisions, but I was watching Joe from Seattle's video on it earlier, and basically his take on it is they're throwing everything they can at the wall and trying to make something stick, which at least is a sign. If they're scrambling, it's a sign that they know that they fucked up and they need to fix it. So positive thing to take away from it is that they are trying to correct course. The only negative is really, do they know how? And is there a proper course to correct to? Is there really a way out? Gonna bow out? Dude, for real, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hey, enjoy your weekend. Tell us all about your weekend plans, man. Find it funny, their major changes in the last 2 to 3 weeks is to announce that they're undoing things that they've been heavily pushing for 5 years. I mean, Visser, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's actually, you don't have to be like an Xbox fanboy or hater to look at it and objectively be like, they've made a lot of bad choices, and whether or not this is going to fix anything or be enough to, get people back to being Xbox fans, they're at least seemingly taking the approach of, hey, let's try to fix this, right? Let's try to fix something. Sucks it's a new lead for the new Metro. Don't be gay. I can never promise that I won't be gay, man. Gay is how I do, all right? But in regards to this, you then have Halo's scrapped battle royale turned into an extraction shooter. So for every one positive step forward, they're going to take 2 steps back. Cage, have you seen this? I'm sure you have. I am sure you have. Apparently, there was a long rumored battle royale for Halo that was then reworked into an extraction shooter. Why I don't know. I will never understand this. So this was in a video from Rebs Gaming, a reliable Halo leaker. He explained that the Battle Royale had its development paused in late 2022. It then evolved into Project Eaker, a PvE extraction shooter being made in UE5. Last known update about the game mode was in summer 2023, but it's not clear at the time of writing how far along it is or if it will be released as a standalone experience. I mean, dude, what a W for Microsoft and for Xbox if they could just sit back and go, wait a second. Nobody liked Halo Infinite. Nobody liked Halo 5. Nobody liked Halo 4. Let's not launch a Halo extraction shooter that's going to fail and embarrass us. Let's let Sony continue take L after L after L with their live service shit, and let's just sit back and be like, yeah, we're gonna stay out of this. You do whatever, man. Well, think about this. Think about this, Visser. They were doing this at the same time at the height of all these other games being worked on. The High Guards, the Concords. These games were all finishing development, wrapping up development, or in the case of High Guard, halfway through development. And so while, again, all the craze was, oh my God, 2021, COVID, dude, during COVID, Escape from Tarkov was one of like the most watched games on streams. I remember that game would get like hundreds of, when they did like the tournaments and the drops for that game, those streams, Landmark, one of the biggest Tarkov streamers, he only gets like 1.5 to 4,000 viewers depending on the game he's playing, it looks like, on Twitch these days. He was sitting at like easily 10,000 viewers per stream or more, even when there weren't drops, dude. Tarkov kind of like created this false idea for a lot of game companies that extraction shooters are the thing that everybody wants to play, you know? I'm an Xbox guy for 20 years and I've never even played Halo. Cage, I was an Xbox guy for most of those 20 years also, and I have barely played most Xbox exclusive titles. Like Gears of War, I completed like one of them and played two. So, yeah. We're going to have too many extraction shooters for GTA 6. I mean, for real. New Fable. Actually, I've got something about the new Fable we'll pull up in a minute. A well-made Halo extraction shooter could have been great if it was preceded by a well-made Halo Infinite. Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, I genuinely tried. I really tried with Halo Infinite. I really liked parts of the game. Parts of the game I really enjoyed. But I just couldn't get past all the problems with it. And that sucks, because here I was playing Halo Infinite because it was a day one release on Game Pass. It looked like the best Halo that had come out since probably Halo 3, right? Because Halo 4 and 5 were both awful. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe this will be the return to form, right? The return to form, oh my God, yeah. Sony needs to make single-player games again. Do you actually think, though, that Sony is really going to do what Jason Schreier was saying and only put their single-player games back as exclusives? I don't think so. I don't think there's a chance Sony is really going to be like, well, yeah, we see all these other, competitors out there that we could have our games on their platforms, but no, we need to keep these games exclusive. I don't think so. I know that their PC ports haven't done well, but their PC ports are a year after release. What a fucking stupid idea to be like, well, look, Last of Us 2 didn't sell well on Steam. Okay, it came out like a year or two after the game was already out. And by then, the negative press was already there where people were like, oh yeah, that game sucks, Released Bloodborne, you bastards, yes. Gears is better than Halo? I don't know. I didn't like Gears gameplay as much as the original few Halo games. It just depends. Depends on what you enjoy out of the game. What kind of gameplay you like. So yeah, Legendary Drop saw the article from Dexerto and quote tweeted him and said, one single brain cell. I swear to God, this is just like... I saw this the other day and I was like thinking to myself, like, Halo extraction shooter. How would that... Somebody brought up, I think it was in Big Fry or I can't remember whose chat it was in. What if they did a 40v40 or a 50? Imagine Hell Let Loose. Like that type of game, like a Halo Wars game, but with 40 or 50 people actually acting out the battles. Like a 40v40 ODST type situation, right? Imagine that. Imagine you use Blood Gulch, take the big maps from like the original games, and you do like a domination objective thing, but you use the Halo aesthetic. Halo Kart, I'm in. Dude, put the Warthog in. That's the crossover we need. The Warthog in Mario Kart. Make it happen. Make it happen. Dude, there was a level. There was a level in what, Halo 3? The final mission where you have to, like, the ring is falling apart and you have to get to your ship. Dude, that was awesome. Halo Extraction Shooter would not work. Again, this is going to be like some high guard shit all over again. Yeah, basically. It's like a zombie. You're talking about making it a freaking zombie. Battlefield gameplay with Halo skins, I'm down. There you go. There you go. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You could totally do that. But no, instead we get Halo Extraction mode. It's just insane. Yeah, so speaking of more Xbox stuff, Peter Molyneux reacts to Fable reboot ditching fan favorite feature from the original. Basically, he's not happy. Go figure. The quote from Peter Molyneux was this here saying, it's a real shame about the morality system where there's no longer black and white objective morality. He says, I don't know why they've done that. I mean, it's hard to do that because to do it well in today's incredibly high definition world, it just makes it more tricky. And to do that and to allow different genders, that doubles and triples your work. I don't think so. Morality is morality. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I think that he's just kind of coping a little bit because he doesn't want to say too much and piss off the wrong people. He says, but I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of evil alignment and good alignment in there. I hope so. Well, there won't be. There won't be because, again, they've already said in the game that there's no objective good or evil in the game. So that just kind of is what it is. How many genders? Yeah, the morality system changed the character's appearance. So you just, change the appearance of the female and change the appearance of the male. It's not complicated. It's not hard. Like, yes, JG, you're 100% correct. Now, you still would have had the issue of most of us who didn't play Marathon, not because it was hard, not because it was difficult, not because extraction shooter bad, but because the game was an eyesore to look at. I didn't want to look at it. No, this is genuinely like the most insane cope from people about Marathon was they're like, oh, you just aren't good at it. You're not smart enough to understand the UI. The inventory system is too intelligent for you. You're too bad at games. You suck at FPS games. These are all things like retards like Adam Krigler would say defending the game. And it's like, no, man, look at the numbers. Look at the Twitch viewership. Look at the number one complaint people had when big Twitch streamers would play the game. I hate the game. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to watch somebody stream it. People don't want to look at it. So even that being said, a single player campaign for Marathon might have appealed to a slightly bigger audience, but people still thought the game was an eyesore, So it's kind of like people saying making Marathon free to play would fix the game. It wouldn't, because when it was a free to play extraction shooter, Server Slam, the numbers went down and less people wanted to play it. Somebody pointed out, no jiggle boobs. I don't even think that would fix the game, to be honest. Somebody pointed out that when they released the Server Slam, what that did essentially was filter out a lot of what would have been negative reviews from people who would have bought the game and then refunded it. So in a way, when you look at that 84% positive review score for Marathon, that essentially is a false positive because of the fact that they kind of curated their review score based on the fact that they let people play the game for free and then the game came out, right? It's fascinating. Investors better be ready to lose all of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's visual vomit, visual noise, exactly. So I think that's, again, the biggest problem that it's presented with. All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff here. Now we are up here to the fun stuff. Boobies fix everything. You're almost correct about that. Not everything. Like, I mean, look at a trans woman. You might have somebody that has a nice pair of boobs, but they still got twig and berries. Would a pair of boobs fix that for you? I mean, think about it. All they need to do is fix Marathon is to fire the idiot who designed the UI and then add a slider like in Warframe that allows you to tone down all the eye cancer effects. Yeah, but Vernum, the issue then becomes, okay, so you tone down the coloring and the all the effects and everything, but then the game's going to look boring because then it's just going to be blocky. It's going to look like Roblox minus color. So let's say you turn down the saturation a bit. Then you're going to have boring looking weird nondescript items with no color. Oh my god. Dude, that's not something you admit on the internet, man. That's just not. All right. So I wish Smeg were here because we are talking about his favorite game of all time that will never release. This is an exclusive from Tom Henderson and Insider Gaming. Says Fairgames struggles to find the fun in latest pre-alpha playtest. Could anybody be shocked by this? Now, speaking of pre-alphas and alphas and playtests, guys, I'm so irritated. I put this on Discord. Avernum, you were making fun of me for this. I got accepted into the Hell Let Loose Vietnam playtest, but the game is like 50 gigabytes to download. So I'm like, all right, that's not terrible. I've got room on my SSD for that. But I have to deal with my freaking data cap here at my house because I'm set on like 1.2 terabytes a month, and everything that we watch at the house we have to stream because my cable box isn't set up because there's no cable outlet. So I have to look at it and go, can I download it for the next few days to actually play the playtest, or am I going to miss out? It's freaking, dude, I'm so mad right now. I would never have stress. Oh my God. Scrolling through YouTube, you saw my girl Blair White. Fuck Blair White, man. Dude, Blair White is to conservatism what Melanie Mack is to Christianity, okay? It's all a facade. I'd rather play a board game than one that makes me see squiggly lines because of a migraine. Touche. Fair enough. Thought the visuals were weird, but I thought the setting and the cinematography in the trailer made it seem like it had an interesting story. Well, it would have had an interesting story had it, I guess, continued along, like you said, the single-player aspect of it like the first games had, right? Yeah, Lugia, 1.2 terabytes a month. I didn't used to. Xfinity used to have no data cap. It used to be a soft data cap that would then, after you hit that 1.2 terabytes, then they'd start to slow your speeds down. But at the same time, in our apartment, because I had a cable jack in every room in the house, in the apartment, I could have my cable box and watch TV through the cable, and it wouldn't use my data. Well, here, to watch TV, to stream anything, it's using our data. And so between that and all the updates on like the Xboxes, my kid's computer, my wife's computer, my computer, any games that I have, yeah. So we've had multiple months where it goes over the data cap, and they charge you like $10 for every 5 gigs you go over or some shit like that. It's insane. Didn't used to be a thing. Years ago, I had no data cap, but now it's like, great, awesome, wonderful. All right, it says, Haven Studios' latest playtest of a pre-alpha version of Fairgames continues to struggle to find the fun, according to sources familiar. It says, last week, Haven Studios ran another playtest under the codename Espresso for Fairgames, but according to those involved, the game is struggling to find its fun factor and still has a long way to go in development. Espresso. Why Espresso? Oh my God, that is so weird. Isn't that the name of a freaking, like, Beyonce or, like, Cardi B song or some shit like that? Game should never say it's trying to find the fun. Might as well be a soy latte. You know, Mlixel, the one thing I will say different about that is Arc Raiders, when they originally played the game, when they originally played Arc Raiders, the devs said this game isn't fun. That was like 3 years ago, right? Oh, a Sabrina Carpenter song. Same difference. It's all retarded. But, no. So then they went back to the drawing board and they made the game fun, right? So it's okay. It's okay if you're in, early development of a game and you realize nobody's going to enjoy this. We have to fix this, start from scratch, whatever, and then you address those things. But this Fairgames is supposed to be out. It's supposed to come out this year. And if they still can't find the fun, well, it looks like it sounds like that Time Takers game that I've talked about before. And that the Cube Save Us extraction shooter that's shutting down in like a week. But not this. Yeah, this is not early game exactly. The game is supposed to be coming out this year. Says, as mentioned in a previous report, the game mode played was called Cargo Heist, which is essentially an extraction-based experience where you load into a map, loot, break vaults, and then extract. I suppose the only unique thing here is that there's also respawns, which takes away from the high-stakes nature of an extraction shooter. Yeah. So talking about this, I want to go ahead and jump into Laura Fryer's video, because I've been dying to watch this all day long. Laura Fryer, if you don't know, has a lot of experience. She worked at Xbox for a long time, a lot of experience in the games industry. And so I would love to see her take on this entire thing, because she has been very, I'd say, honest and brutal about her opinions on where the industry is at currently with live service model and everything that they've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and play Laura Fryer's video, and then I'll link it down to you guys. God, I hate this trailer. I hate this trailer so much.
You want to know about us? Seems like everyone does these days. It's simple.
Back in May of...
Before she gets started, I want to point out two things. One, she's not still in the industry, no. No, I wish she was. This game, people just figured out early on, it's an anti-capitalist game, right? When you look at the list of billionaires that they're robbing from, number 2 here, Elliot Moore, same initials as Elon Musk. That probably not a coincidence, all right? The other issue with this game, and this is probably going to sound a little racist, and I really don't care. Think about games like Redfall. Think about other games that have tried to feature, let's just say, diverse casts of characters, primarily diverse women of color, and feature them on the cover of their game. It's never gone well, right? It's never gone well. There's something about putting in the modern era, and I'm not talking about like you have games like some of the Resident Evil games where you have that hot black chick, that African chick or whatever. It's simple kill the Batman. But you put some what people are going to assume some obnoxious bitchy black character, female character on the cover of the game, and you expect people to want to play it. And you're surprised, and you act surprised when people suddenly have a negative opinion of it, and in fact are actually, antagonistic towards it and don't want to play it, right? Imagine spending millions on making a game that promotes eating the rich. Dude, Avernum, have you guys seen the pictures coming out of Hassan? Okay, I'll find the pictures because that's actually a perfect tie-in with this. The photos coming out of Hassan when he was a child. Okay. Yeah, it's a game about stealing with a black woman on the box art. Dude, it's crazy. The entire thing is crazy. But I'm just saying, maybe it's not racist so much as it is people picking up on visual cues. Again, it's noticing. It's people's perception of what they've seen over and over and over. And at this point, it's a pattern recognition situation. So
2023, Sony stood on stage at the PlayStation Showcase and revealed 2 big new live service shooters at the same time. Marathon from Bungie and Fairgames from Haven Studios. Fast forward to April 2026, Marathon is actually shipped, but its player numbers are declining and retention looks pretty rough. Fairgames? It still hasn't launched, so we can't talk about post-launch retention.
Yes,
what
we can.
Have instead are consistent reports from multiple playtests over the past few years describing the game as super clunky and simply not fun. A problem insiders say has persisted throughout development.
I want to point out something again. I want to point out that this extraction mode that they're talking about sounds exactly like the Hyenas game that I tested out back in the day prior to Concord releasing, that Sega spent $70 million on and then scrapped the entire project. That game, Hyenas, was simply a load into this spaceship, space station type thing with your androgynous crew of drag queens and freaks and weirdos. Go in, steal a bunch of loot, fight the PvE bad guy, security forces, or the other teams of freaks, and extract with the loot. This is just the same shit all over again. She's too soft. Well, the thing about Laura is because she was also she knew Phil Spencer for years. She was part of the industry. She's not going to come out and be like, "Yeah, you're a bunch of fucking retards." I mean, she's going to be a little bit more nuanced about it, I'll say. I'm okay with her being, like the I don't know how old she is, but like the nice aunt about it, or I don't want to say like the nice grandma, but like more like the motherly approach, the scolding you softly,
They're showing women of color on the covers, and that's the least people that play video games. Most gamers are American white dudes.
Or just guys. Not even, I mean, yeah, probably primarily white, at least in the US, but guys. Male. If your game has guns, you should have a man on the cover. unless it's a single player game, like a Stellar Blade, which then you're trying to lean into more of like the character being, you know, more sexy and all that kind of stuff. Or Mortal Kombat, again, you got the different types of characters and stuff, the big bad scary ones, the hot chicks, all that kind of shit, right? Male, yes. Female Sungran, oh no, dude, Avernum, I think she's way too normal to be Sungran. Sungran's a big old weirdo, man. Way big old weirdo.
They're now desperately pivoting to a dedicated extraction mode called Concord. I mean, cargo heist. Given that
Concord.
Sony brought in Bungie to review Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Online, a project that was reportedly around 80% complete, and Bungie's reality check helped get it canceled, it makes you wonder, why in the world would we believe that Fairgames is actually going to ship? Today I want to talk about...
I will stand on the fact that I believe this game will be the first Sony extraction shooter that gets scrapped prior to releasing. That's just 100% my belief. Yeah, it's the US isn't even majority white. I would just say dudes. Yeah, just dudes, gamers, you know? We all know that the 50-50 split between men and women gamers is bullshit. That when we're talking about people playing actual games made for the video game audience that actually make billions of dollars yearly, it's guys, whether they're playing on console or their computers. It's guys, okay? Mute me? Cage, are you messing with me? Are you? I even unplugged and replugged my microphone in after the stream started just to make sure. Maybe you muted me. They need to release it. It'll be so funny. David, I actually hope they would. It was your dumbass. Okay, good. I actually hope that they release Fairgames because they're talking about making it free to play anyways. So I absolutely, just like Highguard, I would love to play the game to see how bad it really is. But I honestly think that this will be the first true, like, dead on arrival Sony extraction shooter where it doesn't even make it out of like the gate, that they just pull the plug on it and say, no, we're done. They've already canceled live service games. So Sony at one point had like 11 or 15 or whatever live service games in their pipeline. Then they like axed like 8 of them, like The Last of Us online game and a whole bunch of other games, right? But this one is the first one that I think is borderline ready to ship, or at least should be ready to ship based on the production time, that I think will get canned. So, phone games and Mario Kart. Yes, but does she play Mario Kart to have fun, or does she play Mario Kart like a sweat? Because my oldest kid, he got really into Mario Kart a couple years back. Like he's played it since he was like 5, but like he became like highly competitive on Mario Kart for like about a year. I'm like, dude, Mario Kart's a party game. What are you doing? Like, he'd play it online and try to beat, like, the Korean kids and stuff.
About extraction shooters in 2026 and why it is that they keep running into the same wall. And a big part of it is
Only
they keep
games my
losing
wife
sight
plays with
of
my
the
mind.
audience
Oh my
that has
God.
always made the genre work.
Lucia, I don't think I said thank you for the 5, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the 5. But, yeah, your point is still, in fact, why would you put a chick on the cover, especially an ugly chick, if your primary audience is men? You, like, come on. Same thing with the new Perfect Dark game. Oh, dude, the new Perfect Dark game looked terrible, man. I'm so glad they scrapped that one.
Hardcore extraction shooters like Tarkov
Hey,
and
Mari.
Hunt Showdown have always been overwhelmingly played by adult men. A major Tarkov community survey showed 97.7% male, and Hunt is widely considered to be in the same ballpark.
Wait. This, I think she's talking about what we were just talking about. Hang on a second. I want to go back to this spot here. Got in discussion under this video with a guy who really wants Marathon to succeed. Okay, dude, the hate campaign stuff. Can we address something? 90% of people, 90% or more of people online, in general, in life, who play video games probably don't have Twitter. Twitter and Reddit are probably the two like biggest sources of discussion, argument, and debate, and harassment campaigns, or hate campaigns as they like to call them, where any game is discussed. people see a game and they either go, I want to play that or I don't. They talk to their friends, ask them if they're playing it, what their thoughts were on it, and that they kind of like, okay, if my friend group isn't going to play this game, I'm not going to buy this game because I want somebody to play the game with. So for people blaming other people's opinions or saying things online for Marathon dying, you have to look at the fact that Bungie has created such a negative opinion of themselves among gamers as a whole. I don't understand Destiny. I would so much rather play any other game but Destiny. Destiny to me wasn't ever any fun. I played Destiny 2 for like a combined 20 or some odd hours. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. But at the same time, I'm not going to fault anybody who does. But when those people, the people who play Destiny 2, don't jump over to Bungie's new game because of how they were treated by Bungie, you can't blame random people online pointing at Steam chart numbers and saying Marathon is ugly for people not wanting to play the game. It is the weakest argument that exists. They get too busy playing the game. I don't need to defend my favorite game. I have a few movies that I really enjoyed that were terrible movies. I thought Batman versus Superman was actually enjoyable. I'm not going to spend my days online trying to convince people it's a great movie. I can look at it and say objectively, I get it. Most people thought it was a shitty movie. Doesn't make me enjoy it any less. I still enjoyed it the one time I watched it. It is what it is. People want this game to stop existing. None of you understand. I mean, I would find it funny if Marathon got pulled. But I also don't think it's going to... I don't think Marathon disappears within the first year, guys. I hear Twitter and I see Twit this week in tech. Oh, nice. Yeah, Marathon was textbooking how to burn down your player base in less than a month. It's just crazy, man. She plays Mario Kart online with her family and friends. She's competitive and gets annoyed when I occasionally win because I treat Mario Kart very casually. Oh, man. Oh, man, that's got to rub her the wrong way. Dude, that's how it's gotten with me and my oldest son when we play Apex Legends. My old boomer ass compared to my 13-year-old son. I mean, he would go like hardcore mode and be like 15 kills in gun run, carry the team to a win. And then he took a break from Apex because he got sick of like hackers and cheaters and stuff. And then the other night he and I were playing it together. And I'm sitting here with like 9 kills and he's down there with 2. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on. I'm supposed to be the old man here. How am I showing you up? Yeah. I'm glad I don't do the Twitter. You know, Twitter is what it is.
Extraction shooters like Tarkov and Hunt Showdown have always been overwhelmingly played by adult men.
Adult men.
A major Tarkov community survey showed 97.7% male, and Hunt is widely considered to be in the same ballpark. Most players are in their 20s to 40s. These players come looking for high-stakes tension, real risk and reward, and power fantasies that feel immersive and rewarding right from the start. When the characters don't look cool or desirable to that audience, or when the central fantasy theme feels off, you create an instant barrier in a game genre that's already hard to retain players in.
Do you notice how she doesn't instantly come out and blame men for this, or say how they're wrong for not wanting to play it? This is why I said, Laura Fryer, she is never going to go hardcore at these developers and say, you guys are stupid, you're idiots, you're retards. But she will point out the obvious fact that you're looking at a genre that is predominantly adult men. And adult men don't want to play something that looks stupid or feels weird or feels stupid, right? The live service thing just burns my butt. I mean, yeah, dude. Here's the thing. The problem with live service is the inevitable conclusion of eventually when enough people stop playing the game, do they shut down the servers and the game becomes unplayable, and then all your money goes down the drain. That's the only, in my mind, that is the only issue with live service as it stands right now. I don't care if a game is live service, offline, online, whatever, provided you can always play it and it's never going to disappear. The problem is games can disappear. That's where live service really becomes a problem, you know? I don't spend my waking hours thinking, am I playing a live service game? That part is irrelevant to me. Live service equals a rental. I mean, dude, technically any game. Think about this. Think about what happened with the cars in, was it Forza that they did this or just the Crew? I know they pulled the Crew offline, but I think it was Forza where they lost the license right, or maybe it was Gran Turismo. They didn't renew the license rights for certain automobile models, and those got pulled out of the game. I mean, if they can pull a game or pull parts of a game off your hard drive and it's not supposed to be a live service or it's not supposed to have to be connected to online servers to play, That's crazy, man. Rare to see someone with an understanding of proper analytics. Especially somebody who worked in the games industry, man.
Both titles hit this wall early. Marathon went for a bold, high-contrast cyberpunk style with saturated colors and plasticky surfaces, stylized androgynous characters. In fairness, some players really liked the fresh direction, but many others called it garish or simply unappealing.
Garish.
In a genre where the core audience wants designs that feel immersive or aspirational, that bad first impression really hurts the game.
I will say this unapologetically, and I know that technically Mil Sim is not most of the games I play. I play more realistic shooters. I don't really play Mil Sim because I know technically Mil Sim is like, you know, like Arma 3 kind of stuff, or that new Bellum game that's coming out or just came out or whatever. So I would play those games. I just don't have the time to devote to them. But I do prefer shooters that are not gamey. I prefer shooters that have realistic guns, realistic shooting. You know, all those kind of feels where it looks real, gritty, you know, jungle warfare, that kind of stuff. You know, battlefields that are not made out of plastic. There's something about this where I understand that everyone's going to have different levels of aesthetics that they prefer, and everyone's got different environments they prefer and different types of gameplay and shit. But I truly believe that the majority of those male gamers that she's talking about that play these competitive shooting games or extraction shooters, we want more realism. We want more grit. We don't want everything to be bright and bubbly and plasticky and color-coded, you know?
Fairgames faced similar problems after the reveal of their 2023 trailer.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the first face you see in this game. It is not racist or sexist to look at this and go, why is this the face of the game? I mean, did these people never like study marketing? Okay, talking about like demographics. Majority of gamers are male, and the majority of extraction shooters are played predominantly by adult men. Let's just look at statistics, okay? When it comes to desirability, black women rank near the bottom. And I'm not saying that that's inherently their fault or anything wrong with that. I'm not going to get into the demographics argument right now. But if we're talking just as a marketing standpoint, majority of men play these games, and you have a black woman in a game about eating the rich, an anti-capitalist, you can imagine, preachy game, and this is the face of the game. It's just looks crazy as fuck. Yeah. I bring back the 2000s white boy angst. Oh, man. But yeah, you're sexist, you're racist, you're misogynistic, you're phobic, whatever.
2023 trailer. The exaggerated, trendy character designs were widely called out as distracting and simply not desirable to play as. A lot of people straight up laughed at it or mocked the trailer for that reason. On top of that, Haven Studios had built its internal culture around kindness as a core value, something Jade Raymond, the studio head, highlighted from the very beginning.
This was the studio head? Oh my god, in all this time, she came from Stadia? No! Dude, I did not know this. Jade Raymond, the co-founder or founder of Haven Studios here, releasing Fairgames. This was their first title. This was their debut game. She left the studio last year, before the game was even done. She freaking worked at Stadia. Oh my god. I had no idea. If I did know that, I have long forgotten. Holy shit. Yeah, and black women are the least likely to play a game like this. Exactly. Jade Raymond was DEI before DEI. I mean, at least she's not ugly. That says something. I mean, most of these women that try to make characters in games ugly, you would think they'd all be like the 400-pound nose rings, whatever. It's always like the women like this. Like, there's another studio. Trying to think which one it is. It's the gal that is actually the head of the one that's actually the game director for Marathon, I'm pretty sure. And she's not unattractive, but it's like, you know, the lower down ones, the women that are always like designing the characters, they're the ones who make the characters as ugly as they are. I wasn't the devil for being a straight white guy. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been.
as a key to creativity.
She started on Assassin's
collaboration.
Creed.
I haven't seen a lot of other game studios is kindness. We really believe that kindness is going to unlock the creative, the creative freedom or innovation. And that's something that really did come from the team. I wasn't there when the brainstorm happened and did this whole mind map thing. And
Great.
kindness appeared.
On paper, that sounds great. Who doesn't want people who are kind? But we've seen at plenty of other studios how an extreme focus on kindness can easily slide into toxic positivity, where real problems and honest feedback get buried because nobody wants to be the one seen as being unkind.
I want Laura to get hired to go behind the scenes to these studios, these companies. And like, I have to imagine that Laura Fryer has like a mean streak in her, right? She's so kind and she's so soft and she's so well spoken on these videos, but she also gets that this is all a bunch of bullshit, right? Like you have to imagine that Laura Fryer, if they paid her to go in there and clean house, she would. She could probably be walking and be like, "You're fired. You're out of here. You're done. You're gone. Kill me now, dude." Rumor is that she was forced out. It would not surprise me. Dude, you're talking to a games journalist, Christopher Dring of the gamesindustry.biz, right? Fairly well respected. I'd say more well respected in general than a guy like freaking Schreier or Paul Tassier at this point or whatever. She could step on my face barefoot. Yes, but do you want her running your game studio? That's the question. We're not talking about whether she's desirable or not. We're talking about whether or not she should be in charge and have the position she has,
Given that emphasis, I thought they might lean toward a game that reflected more cooperative or positive team dynamics. Instead, the original marketing leaned hard into an eat-the-rich fantasy of robbing ultra-wealthy targets to rebalance the scales. Power fantasy works best when it's direct.
Now, okay, first impressions and last impressions. The only trailer we've ever seen ends
Power
with these
fantasy-
guys right here. Let me ask you guys a question, okay? This is what you're looking at when it comes to a game trailer that's coming out, let's say a year later. I can't remember when this trailer came out. This was like, what, a year and a half ago that this teaser dropped? You got these three retards in monkey suits with this open mouth face right here, just looking like a moron. And these three diverse young people in puffy gold jackets. Do you want to play this game? I'd pay $70 to prevent this game from releasing. Right, exactly. Nobody wants this.
Works best when it's direct and escapist. I am powerful, I win,
Old
I
school
take the
Geraldo
loot.
shit.
When it's wrapped into some moral superiority about robbing the rich, when what you're doing all the time in the game is just fighting other players for their stuff, it stops feeling like pure empowerment. It starts feeling like an agenda that doesn't quite align with what most players boot
Yo,
up a
Lucia,
shooter
she just
for,
said it.
which would be tight gameplay and satisfying power fantasies. That thematic mismatch created skepticism before anyone even played. What you show in your marketing and trailers is just as important as the actual game.
It looks like a bunch of Gen Z TikTokers. Look at the hair on this white kid here. He's got like the freaking ramen hair thing going on. Oh my God, dude.
Played. What you show in your marketing and trailers is just as important.
Yeah,
as
the game should get
actual
pirated if they
gameplay
promote
when
stealing.
It comes to attracting players, because in the beginning, that's all they have. Marathon released in March. It has strong gunplay and an interesting world, but the numbers are concerning. Steam concurrent players peaked at a good number, but have dropped sharply
technically
since
you're
launch
not
with ongoing downward trends. At a reported budget well over $200 million, being mid for the core audience simply isn't enough. If this were a small indie studio, it might be fine. But when you're Bungie and you have that kind of money on the line, the game needs to be more than just okay to justify the investment. Fairgames hasn't released.
I mean, she's cute, but she's definitely got them crazy eyes, man. I would steer clear of this one for sure.
Yet, so we can't talk about post-launch retention. What we have instead are consistent reports from multiple playtests describing the game as simply not fun. The original competitive heist sandbox is now pivoting towards a dedicated extraction-style cargo heist mode. Break in, drill the safe, grab cargo, and extract. Or,
Dude, she gets drunk off of cheap wine with her cat watching like soap operas and shit for the weekend. Like, there's no fixing that, man. Stay away. Just steer clear. First day with her is at the aqua park. I want to see her without makeup. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's always a trick. God, it's crazy the amount of makeup girls wear these days. It's insane. The leaders in power, they need to prove themselves. I mean, the thing is, most of them, I don't say most of them, a lot of them got where they were because basically it was cool. It was trendy to have a woman leading your company a few years ago. And then all of a sudden people saw how disastrous it was when somebody who wasn't like a Laura Fryer, somebody who was given the position because of their gender and not because of their qualifications, how disastrous that's turned out, you know? Insta filters, my God.
Use a getaway if things go wrong. Also, it's
yeah, stay away from the
reportedly
cluster B
shifting to
types.
free-to-play. This follows rapid studio growth at Haven. They started around 50 to 60 people in 2021 and are now between 250 to 270 after Sony acquired them. Jade Raymond left in May of 2025 after a poor external playtest, and the original game director followed. When you combine fast scaling, leadership that hasn't shipped in a while, and creative choices that aren't clicking with their audience, it's an expensive and risky mix. And we're talking real money here. My best guess is that Sony's sunk probably $130 to $170 million into it when you factor in the acquisition and all the hiring.
It's insane.
And yes, I know one of the big benefits of being in Canada is because you get an extremely generous video game tax credit. They currently refund around 30 to 37% of eligible labor costs.
Whoa! Now, okay, I understand Canada has higher taxes than the US, but getting back 30 to 37% of your labor costs in a tax credit, that's huge. That's insane. It'll be a glorious dumpster fire. John, I don't think it's coming out, man. I'm pretty positive this one is going to be axed behind the scenes, that it will not come out. It'll be the first Concord to not release. So, unofficially, yes, I think they dropped the $sign, but if you actually look for the when you're doing a video on YouTube or like if you're streaming a game, when you search for the subject, Fairgames still pops up with a $sign. My lady friend's a woke bi Canadian. Don't go there, dude. Stay away.
That means a huge chunk of those salaries get offset by the government. Even with that help, though,
exactly, Black Cat.
This is an enormous bet on a game that hasn't found the fun yet. At this point, I would predict that Fairgames is never going to ship. Or if they do ship, we're going to get another Concord. They've got repeated playtest issues, they've got leadership exits, and their desperate pivot suggests to me that the fundamentals still aren't there. Look, it's fine if game developers want to explore crazy looking or unattractive characters, if they want to create a distinct look like in Marathon. I will never be on the side of limiting the creativity of game developers. At the same time, these big...
This shit right here, though. I mean, look, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You have the most oddball freaks on the internet going nuts, jizzing themselves, making fan art of these characters. And they tend to be people that are either trans or they, them, pansexual, gender fluid, demisexual, whatever, commies. And they're all the ones like going nuts over these kind of characters. And I'm like, why? I don't understand, first off, why anybody would care. Cool, it's a head that's open. It doesn't even look cool. Is she echoing? I don't know. Is she echoing? Have they announced to her? No, I don't think so. No, that's not a dude. That's a chick. I'm pretty sure. It's not on the head. It's like the actual face opens up because the character has like a visor, even though it doesn't need a visor, because it's a synthetic. It's a robot. So there's no point in having a face mask of any kind, anyways. Similar to onboarding that fella from DICE or whatever to assist in Marathon's revamp. It's her, not me. Oh, so she had a technical error. Okay. Unless you're hearing her echo out of my headphones, but I keep those pretty low. But maybe that's what you're hearing. Yeah, the face opens up, makes absolute sense. Don't get me started, guys. Another trans allegory. Maybe.
Studios need to scope the budget and the features for the audience they're actually targeting. In my opinion, The extraction shooter market isn't the best place for these expensive experiments.
No shit.
Not if you want to stay in the business long term. Extraction shooters
Dude,
are
I'm
dead.
so excited about this one, though. Okay, so unlike Fairgames, Horizon Hunter's Gathering will release. I am 100% confident about it. And it will release and probably have about maybe a 10,000 player peak on Steam. And the cope for this game will be, oh, but it's a huge game on PlayStation because Horizon was a huge franchise for them, and you don't know how many people are playing on PlayStation. And then about a month later, we'll hear the reports that the biggest audience for this game is actually playing it on Steam. And then the game will eventually get pulled offline. Yeah, 3 to 6 months, I could see that, 100%. But it will come out. Because unlike Fairgames, it doesn't sound like this game's been in development hell. It just looks like shit.
But 2026 is showing how costly it gets when games drift away
Big
from
girl.
the audience that has always supported the genre. I think it's fun to see developers
John,
explore bold new styles and themes, and I'll never be against the creative freedom of game developers. Even
I'm sorry, Laura. I'm against whatever creative freedom allows this creature to exist. Where was that at?
and I'll never be against the creative freedom of game development.
Whatever creative freedom designed this thing, that person should be in jail. Their creative license should be taken away. They should never be allowed to work on anything art related ever again. No video game art, no character designs, no illustrations. Hell, they shouldn't even be allowed to have like a Tumblr page or whatever. Like, yeah, the typical cope cycle, exactly. They'd have better luck retaining the original art direction, and I'm not at all a fan of Horizon. Yeah, I don't like Horizon either. Like, I didn't play it. It's a PlayStation exclusive game that I couldn't give two shits about. I don't hate it, don't love it, have no desire for it to play it. It looks boring to me, but whatever. This thing is awful.
Developers, even when I don't personally love the aesthetic, the characters, or the message. That kind of experimentation is what makes games and the world more interesting. It should
Robotic
exist.
dinosaurs, yeah.
The problem is when studios try to broaden appeal by simply layering on trendy ideas or aesthetics or messages on top of the core fantasy without deeply understanding why the hardcore audience shows up in the first place. You can't force people.
Yeah, this is the character here that has the face that opens up. I don't understand why, when they're synthetic and they don't actually have, like, these characters don't have sex. These are not human bodies. These are not like, I imagine they don't have to pee. I imagine they don't have to, do any sort of like natural, like eat or whatever. They are made out of like what, space moths or worms or something that make up the body. I don't know. I don't really care about the lore of Marathon. All I know is that these are like synthetic robotic android type bodies. But why would the face open up? I don't even understand.
You can't force people to
It's
love
a freak
something
show. The whole
new.
transhuman
You
thing
can
is
only present it,
weird.
test it early, and see what actually resonates. Ideally, before you've spent millions scaling a studio and building a full game. You grow a game
Gets
by
worse the more I know
satisfying
about
the
it.
core first, then thoughtfully expanding, not by bolting things on and hoping a wider crowd will suddenly love it. We've now seen enough of these experiments to recognize the pattern. I just hope the next extraction shooter learns from these lessons and delivers something that truly clicks with the players who've always shown up.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say if your extraction shooter looks like Marathon or Fairgames or Hyenas or any of those, above, people aren't going to want to play it. The reality is, when it comes down to it, like I said before, if your primary target audience for extraction shooters is men 20s to 40, those same men tend to play games that look more like Escape from Tarkov and less like Concord, right? Oh, dude, Hyenas was crazy. I got into that alpha, and this is before I was making videos on YouTube. I was just a random dude that got access to the playtest, and I downloaded it. I was like, oh, cool, an extraction shooter type game I've never played before. I'll check this out, right? And I hopped in. I downloaded it. I hopped into the playtest. And I went through the tutorial, and then I got to the character selection screen, and I'm like, that's a fucking drag queen. Why? And then every other character in the game was hideous and awful looking too. So.
Because when it does, That's when the magic really happens.
If everything is great because nothing negative is ever discussed, then first of all, things aren't so great. And second, it won't ever be great because if you don't fix the problems, they're just going to grow and grow while you ignore them until finally things just have to be canceled. That project that got canceled, I think it easily could have been saved. But it wasn't because the problems were ignored until it was too late to do anything but cancel.
I mean, Timothy Kane has had some terrible takes, to be honest. I know that he probably has a lot of good insight as well, but I recall he's had some really shit takes as well. He's one of my favorite samosexuals. You know, a game will be excellent when you have to be a drag queen. Well, to be fair, it wasn't just a drag queen. There were other characters, too, that you could play. It just so happened that one of them, the one that got all the FaceTime, if you will, the one that got all the airtime in all of the shit for hyenas was a drag queen. I like listening to him speak on dev-related matters. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he's knowledgeable about that kind of stuff. I just know that in terms of the player to developer relationship, I think was he the one saying that you have to be kind or something like that? Maybe it wasn't Tim Kaine. I know it wasn't David Jaffe. David Jaffe's completely retarded. Who was it? Might have been Tim Kaine, now that I think about it. He said something stupid. That's all I remember, was he had a really terrible take about something. I want to see if this is still going. Hang on. Dude, are they still going? They are still going. Oh my god, Kino Casino is still streaming. Do they normally stream this late for this many hours? They started like at 5:30 my time. That's like almost 6 hours they've been streaming. They're back today. Yeah. Yeah, no, they're back right now. They had 12,000 viewers on Kick earlier. Currently, they're watching this guy Luther Morgan's video about the coffee brand coffee stuff. This is the most viewers they probably had in forever. They go until 9 a.m. their time. Are you freaking kidding me? Wait. They stream all night long? I had no idea. So when I've seen Andy Worski like put out that video about his channel getting taken down or whatever, and he said that it was like 9 a.m. or whatever, and they had just finished streaming. That's not abnormal. They do that every time. That's insane. I only watch Alyssa Clips. I'm not a fan of the Alyssa Clips channel, and it's for one reason only. It's the fact that years ago, she was taking people's content without their permission and just uploading full, VODs without actually like adding commentary to it or anything like that. Which again, as somebody who makes videos, that's not fair use. But in their case, Kino Casino has already come out and said, we want everybody to upload as many of our videos on YouTube as you want. And you have our permission to monetize it. You have our permission to go do all this stuff. It's like, hey, with their blessing, that's awesome. Yeah, I know she was doing that back like with the Nick Rekieta stuff. She would take like his full streams and just upload them and shit. Despise Jeremy, that's all that matters to me. Fair enough. I didn't used to despise him. I have come to truly loathe the man. Because he genuinely is pretty much a horrible human being. And the more that you find out about it, the more you go, this isn't just, stupid drama. It's like, oh my God. Wait, John De La Rose is shilling for him. I'm so happy I've just left John De La Rose on block. Like, fuck that dude. No way. He's one of the most obvious covert narcissists I've ever seen online. I think he might be worse than DSP. He's worse than DSP because the quartering still has... I gotta go snuggle with my wife. Pray for my soul. All right, man. Will do. Dude sucks too. I mean, they all suck. But when it comes to the quartering, he has the audience size and the support of all the boomers that keep him going. That's really the problem. I'm trying to make sure I don't stumble across something in all of these like top posts for the quartering, because sometimes people post some crazy shit in here. Wait. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. All right, hang on, guys. I'm grabbing something off Twitter real quick here. This is no. Jeremy. Okay. Hang on. I'm gonna indulge myself for a minute, and then I'm going to maybe we'll play a little bit of Road to Vostok before I go to bed. All right, hang on. All right. What do you do now? Okay, let me show you. So, this was earlier in the stream. They were watching Jeremy at a Renaissance fair. This video came out yesterday. Camelot, Camelcast, Cody Dennison. He went to one of Jeremy's old live streams where he was at a Renaissance festival streaming in real life. And so Kino Casino shared this earlier, okay? This video
where
here.
he says he doesn't, not only he doesn't love his wife, he doesn't even care about his wife. Go ahead.
Wait.
One soon. But like, oh, I see. But like,
right. But so Cody didn't have this part in his clip that he did. He had him creeping on the women, the stalking, all that creepy behavior at the Renaissance fair, saying that this woman walking with her 2 little kids was down to fuck because she had kids.
it's weird, but I don't really connect with people in real life.
Yeah.
By the way, we're all terminally online. By the way how he defended this stream to Camelot and others was to tell us all we're terminally online weirdos who never touch grass. But here he is saying he doesn't connect to people in real life, including his wife.
Hang on, it's just lagging a little.
Like, I don't, like, even my wife, I don't really care.
Even his wife.
Hey, QC jerks.
His wife, he doesn't even care. Isn't that sad? It's a dead marriage. If you're willing to say something like, that's something that if you feel that way, like move. You got to keep that buried down in your fucking heart. Let alone, like, even say it to her. Let alone say it to the whole world that you don't even care about your wife. But you're going to use her. Of course you don't care. We've been seeing how you don't care. Because, as you say, she's living in fear to even answer the door. You're posting pictures of her online. Not only does he not love his wife, folks, he doesn't even care about his wife. And it's going to just get worse and worse.
Well, I mean, Cody pointed that out in his in the clip that he shared, because he's like, here you've got Jeremy saying, my wife is fearful for her life and she's being harassed. And then he turned around and told somebody, yeah, you know, it's fun to kick the hornet's nest on Twitter. It's like, which one is it, dude? You can't have it both ways.
And worse throughout this presentation.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucked up. It's probably not normal.
It's not normal.
But I crave companionship of...
What? You're married? You crave companionship?
Listen to what he says.
But I crave companionship of anonymous people online. And
oh my
That's what he
God.
craves. He doesn't want to spend time with his wife.
This is actually kind of nuts,
years.
guys. Not even gonna lie.
He wants to spend time with anonymous losers online. Okay?
What a fucking loser.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to it that he says about his wife. It's hollow validation. That's the craziest thing. He's basically saying my in real life existence sucks so bad that I would rather have people online tell me how great I am than to actually get validation from the woman that I married. I don't know how old that clip is, but it's been the same wife the entire time. They were going over, apparently he's got tons of old footage where he admitted that for the proposal, he threw the ring on the ground, didn't even get on a knee. There was an old Tism, Incredible Salt Mine stream he had with Bering and Dankula, where he was telling them that basically he and his wife don't have sex because they're married, you know? They were high school sweethearts, yes. And he also, in that same stream with Dank, apparently said that basically... I don't know, his life was kind of like full of regrets because she was the only woman he was with or whatever, and that basically he didn't get to experience his wild 20s and all that. God, there was another one. What was it? I'll think of it in a minute. Hang on. So From Hotep here, it says, reminder, Quartering claimed he hard cut alcohol on his birthday 10 days ago, and apparently they caught him with Fireball whiskey live on his stream. Oh my God. This is 3 days ago. This was 3 days ago. Yeah, I like Count Dankula. Yeah. They don't have sex because they're married. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there was an old stream that they went over tonight on Kino Casino. I was watching it while I was cleaning up dinner. Kids were outside playing baseball. You know, normal stuff that us who don't touch grass do, like have our kids go outside, and my kids, all three of them, were playing baseball outside together, and I was cleaning the dishes and shit. And apparently what did he say? Trying to think of how they phrased it. He gives you PDF vibes. Well, there's a clip where he defends Lolicon. I know how you feel about that, dude. Where was that one at? I'll go back and find that in a second. No, he said, he was telling Carl Benjamin that basically, if he could do it over again, he'd find a woman 10 years younger than him. Basically is what he was saying. It's genuinely disturbed individual. A very disturbed dude. Like, think he would do just about anything he could get away with. Well, you remember like old videos, he used to make like tech videos on how to hide your CSAM material, child exploitation material, basically. Yeah. And there's a lot more to this clip here too. Like there was a lot of shit that they were going over. Oh, so they're going over that guy's the second part of his Coffee Bear and Coffee video. To be honest, the video itself is kind of boring. Luther Morgan, he's got kind of a very, I don't know. He makes me seem energetic, right? Oh, Melanie Mack. Oh, she's nuts, dude. Melanie Mack's awful. The Muda video showed me this moron can't even read a book. Dude, I watched the Muda video today at work. I listened to it, and it is hilarious because, I mean, look, Mudahar is not somebody that I personally would agree with on a lot of things in life. But in terms of his coverage of the Quartering, I thought it was an excellent video. Luther shreds my kind of tism. But I did see on Luther's video, he actually had ordered some of the Quartering's coffee. Now, it is funny. It is funny because the big part of this has been the fact that the Quartering is essentially an FDA violation because of the fact that his coffee is not labeled properly. And you can see in this video here, he points it out, right?
Coffee, and then it says proudly distributed by, the name of the company, and then the city, state, and the zip code where it is. That way you can find it. So you guys tell me what you think. Once the coffee arrived, was it not compliant with the food safety regulations, or did it have the exact information that we needed? Well, everyone who said that he was non-compliant with the food regulations, you're correct. The information regarding the coffee factory is not on the labeling. So I purchased this. It's spiked jack-o'-lantern coffee, mainly because I thought it could be expired because it's clearly Halloween themed. And
it probably is, to be honest. If it's the pumpkin flavor or whatever it is at this time of year, it probably is overdue.
There is absolutely no information. There's no coffee factory information. There is no ingredients list. There's no nutritional facts.
Now, as far as nutritional facts go, if it's just coffee beans, I don't think, and this is as somebody here again who works in the food industry, deals with FDA and WSDA and stuff, I don't think coffee beans themselves necessarily require nutrition facts. I could be wrong. I don't sell coffee. But if there's other flavorings in the beans, and this is flavored coffee, mind you, then yes, he absolutely has to have some other ingredient. Even if it just says ingredients, coffee beans, pumpkin flavor. Done. It's easy. It's not hard to do.
It's totally non-compliant. Totally non-compliant. Now you say, what about the K-Cups, Luther? Well, those are totally non-compliant too. Now, they don't need nutritional facts because it's just regular coffee.
Exactly. There you go. With regular coffee, you wouldn't need nutritional facts.
But there's no information about the packaging or the factory
housewife
that
flavors?
It came out of.
I think so.
So, again, with the non-compliance. So this is more than just about memes. This is more than just about grifting. This is more than just about YouTube drama. This is about food safety. This is about food safety, consumer protection, and transparency that is owed to customers from food producers.
Yeah, the Mudahar engineer stuff.
Flavorings? What is in this coffee? How do you get coffee beans to be flavored like blueberry? How do you get coffee beans to be flavored like pumpkin whatever?
That's actually really easy. It's just use natural or artificial flavors to flavor them. And that's not part of, you don't roast blueberries into the beans. It's straight up, guys. With stuff like this, it's probably just, I imagine, with whole beans, they just add flavoring into the batch and just kind of mix it around. You can get flavoring in oils, in powders, all sorts of stuff. But you would need some sort of ingredients saying, hey, we use this X, Y, or Z natural, artificial, whatever flavor, right? Even that might not require a nutrition guideline, depending on which state he's in or whatever, because again, your state Department of Agriculture is going to supersede FDA, other than like FDA is going to have their basic guidelines, and then each state is going to have their individual guidelines. But I mean, to not even have like, hey, ingredients, blueberry flavor. I'm like, who does he have doing the packaging for him? That's what I want to know. Like at work, when I'm going to make a new flavor, I got to do the entire thing myself, from, you know, creating the label, the ingredients list, adding, editing, changing, those kind of things. Like, come on, man. You make enough money, pay somebody qualified.
What's the ingredients? Why won't you share it? Why won't you tell us where the coffee factory is? Why won't you show an FDA certification or your local state food
Drunk
regulations?
Savage, I know.
Because I've
but
tried
it's true.
to look
I mean,
in both Utah and Wisconsin. We already
allegedly
covered that.
true.
I wasn't able to find a food manufacturing facility. Why don't you want to share this information? Because
his entire thing has been that it's not drop ship, it's not white label. He wanted to be the guy that wasn't doing what everybody else is doing. And look, I think most people can accept that Jeremy was never making his own coffee. It's like, come on, nobody believed he was. The problem is that he said he was, right? Now, allegedly, I think I'm safe so far to scroll through here. I'm just really terrified with the amount of shit going on with the quartering to scroll here without checking first. Somebody had here that according to the registration site, he actually had let the trademark expire for Coffee Brand Coffee. I'm not kidding. So let me see here. I think it was just a little further down. Karlin Borisenko, that's another complete psycho bitch. Stay away from her. She's nuts. I know she's enjoying this right now because she hates Jeremy, but she's batshit crazy herself. Love to see the third party scoop that up and make something out of it. I mean, not really. There's nothing unique about it. At this point, I'm thoroughly convinced he stirs the beans with his foot just because it's his kink. Oh my god, dude. Don't even get me started. That's just... No, man. I don't know where this ended up. Oh my god. This guy right here, MAGA Cracka Mike, he was actually following me on Twitter and then unfollowed me because he saw that I was like tagging Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire and something and saying, yo, this is your boss, by the way. The one following around these little kids, you know, with their mom, saying that she's down to fuck, right? And so he's over here defending frickin' quartering as much as he possibly can. It's crazy. Absolutely nuts. It's just sad to see. All right, where were we at here? Oh my god, it's over for Melanie Mac. Chick is insane. I'm not even lying. Here was Bearing's video. I'm going to pull this up.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to pull this up real quick here.
Do I need to be liked?
Yo,
Absolutely
Smeg,
not.
why aren't you over on
like
Kino
to be
Casino's stream, dude?
I enjoy being liked. I have to be
5 gifted from Smeg. Hell yeah, buddy. Just for that, given that we just started talking about the quartering a little bit, I'm gonna play this for you just because I've only played it once, and I think everybody needs to see it at least once in their life. I'm not gonna lie, anytime I've seen that clip, it unintentionally, like, it goes on too long. It's just too long. No, QC Jerks, she married another totally straight heterosexual, not gay man. I'm not sure if you've seen the stuff that's come out about her husband, Johnny Junkers, the cosplayer, but the man is as gay as you can get for being a straight dude. Too long, that's what she said. And I turned it down too, Truth. I tried to keep it. Wise Ass Duck, that's just a video that it's a clip I came across on Twitter of her one time. I don't know why. Yeah, no. So her new husband, same as the old husband, basically. But Smeg with 5 gifted, thank you so much, buddy. I'm sure that you've just been having a phenomenal weekend yourself over there. Yeah, no, John, it's basically, you don't know who Melanie Mack is? So she's the Quartering's co-host. She's the one with the bundle of sticks, memes on Twitter because she calls everybody that word. And again, the word itself, I don't care. I couldn't care less, man.
Presents are the best way.
Cheating on me, dude. No, man, it's all good. It's all good. I 100% get it.
Say, hey, man,
I get it.
this many dollars worth.
Sorry, dude. Cheating on you, ATM. Heavily invested in KC right now. It's getting heavy into his coffee that could possibly be violating laws.
AFC too.
Have a good one.
Smeg, thanks for the 10, buddy. Appreciate the hell out of you, man. No, it's all good. I don't blame you one bit. It is not cheating. It is consensual. We are in an open relationship, you and I, Smeg. It's all good. Have fun. Enjoy it. I'll try to watch the clips tomorrow. I'm gonna have a really busy weekend. But I will try to watch the clips tomorrow. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, so Wise Ass Duck, basically, Melanie Mack is the annoying one. That's the former libtard feminist turned ultra right-wing conservative Christian, where she wears the religious thing as a skin suit, heavily tattooed. Nah, guys, I got fucking tattoos all over me. I don't care. Tattoos are not, like, as long as they're decent tattoos that you actually got, good work for your money and shit, I don't care if you have tattoos. But it's the fact that she has like this persona and this it's almost like a suit that she wears that just seems fake, right? It's a very fake persona that she keeps. And the story was that back in the day when she was still kind of like a libtard, that she was married to a man or engaged to a guy that turned out to be gay. Now, I don't know if there's any proof of that on the internet whatsoever. But the new guy that she's with is, yeah, no, Elgon, she actually used to be like straight up, you never seen anything about Kino Casino? Yeah, dude, Wise Ass Duck, before this whole quartering thing, I never even tuned into them either. I had never watched these guys before, not a single time. And to be fair, I probably wouldn't tune into them all the time either, but this shit's been pretty entertaining. Not gonna lie. They're saving themselves from her by staying gay. You know nothing about her prior to Jeremy's co-host. So let me explain the way this works with the quartering. I was actually using the Jerilizer site because I remembered something about one of the former women that he, for some weird reason, had this weird fixation on. She was a YouTuber called Trillium who got canceled for not liking Last of Us 2, and he swooped in like this knight in shining armor to try to save her channel, sent a bunch of his viewers to subscribe to her, sent her a bunch of free stuff, sent her a bunch of streaming equipment, and then she disappeared off the internet, and he made a bunch of videos talk about how he was worried about her and stuff, right? All of this, while still married, still being his usual creepy self with his co-host, right? At the time, I didn't think of anything of it. I thought, oh, this big YouTuber guy's trying to help this little YouTuber. That's cool. That's whatever. But it was kind of creepy. It was kind of weird. And he did the same thing essentially with Melanie Mack. Melanie Mack, I remember first seeing her for the first time in my life doing this, like one of these sketches or some retarded shit from TikTok that she did where he put her as like a meme intro to one of his videos. And from that moment on, he was kind of like creeping on her, like defending her and white knighting for her. And eventually, once he started streaming on Rumble, he got her to come work with him as a co-host. So that's how Melanie Mack and him got connected. He saw her videos, put it into one of his videos, and from then on, it was kind of like one of those things, you know? If she gets paid by some right-wing media company to push wacko views, I mean, the problem is with the quartering, he doesn't have any views. The quartering has no actual opinions of his own. Somebody said, and they shared it on Kino Casino's clip channel, I think it was, that basically he already said that he's okay with whatever the law says is legal, right? So essentially, if bestiality were legal, he couldn't say anything about it because he respects whatever the law is. It's like, No. You can say things can be legal and I still morally like abhor them. Like apparently the man has no actual moral fiber to speak of, right? So yeah, this Jeralizer site, you can look up any word he's ever used in any stream, and basically sometimes the results are mixed. Who knows, right? I mean, more convinced that Melanie inverted her persona to cope with the embarrassment of her first husband leaving her, maybe. Quartering claims to be a centrist and libertarian now. The one thing I will say is a lot of people going after him for being a Christian. He's been a Christian convert since the Charlie Kirk shooting, right? So people going back 5 years and saying this guy was supposed to be a Christian conservative. Oh, no. You go back 5 years. He was very open about the fact that he was neither Christian, conservative, Republican, whatever. He was pro-Trump, but that was the extent of it. The issue, though, is the fact that he doesn't seem to be getting any better despite calling himself a Christian now. I think is the biggest conflict of interest there. Would you help share our fundraising link and help keep us keep this church for the people not sold off? I hope this is a meme, because absolutely not. Let me see here. Is she gonna have kids and grow up? No. Like most conservative grifters who want other people to have kids, but they remain childless. Isn't it funny, JG, that that's the way it works? Yeah, they're both fake and performative. Well, and in his case, he comes across it like, oh, I can't read, so I haven't read my Bible because I can't read a book because I'm functionally retarded. Basically, is his entire stance. So yeah, I don't think that we need to sit through the whole 14-minute video. We watched the first one on stream before from Lutheran Morgan about the coffee company. So I think the general idea is he's just not doing things by FDA guidelines, right?
A game as well.
Oh, Smeg, what the hell, man? No, go. It's okay. Go enjoy Kino Casino's coverage of this, dude. Come on, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thanks to the 5, dude. Okay, I have to ask what you're playing, though. Because I was going to play like Road to Vostok or something potentially. Now I won't have time, and tomorrow I'm not going to have time because I got to do yard work the first half of the day, and then I got to take my kid to 2 baseball games tomorrow. And then Sunday I'm working. I'm making myself go to work for at least 4 or 5 hours on Sunday because I am, despite my calm, relaxed appearance on stream internally, guys, I'm about on the verge of a nervous breakdown, panic attack with what I'm going to do for the summer for work. I'm going to be working a lot. Do I ever play multiplayer games on here, like with chat? You know, dude, that's been something that I've been talking about doing for years, and I've never gotten around to it. I'm very fucking, like, pathetic when it comes to actually doing that kind of stuff. I don't do mini game streams unless, like, for example, a couple weeks ago, we did Ex Voto because it was great. It was fun. Don't feel too bad I'm putting myself through Starfield again. Holy shit, dude. Why? Salem media type of companies, they have popular people post a ton of right-wing view crap to flood the internet. I mean, he's been okay. So apparently Quartering's been doing that with his SEO stuff. He's been putting his own YouTube name in his title to try to like recapture the Quartering. Okay, let me give you guys an example. He plays Helldivers now, man. So I was gifted Helldivers 2 a couple years ago, and I've played it like twice. No, but if you guys like games like Helldivers, the one I prefer to play is Starship Troopers Extermination, and that one I absolutely would be down to like maybe do like a YouTube community stream night where we could actually play it all together or whatever. I would totally be down for that if I can figure out timing. Guys, before tonight's stream, I literally was grinding coffee beans for tomorrow morning and for my little Irish coffee I had here. Like 20 minutes before the stream, I had no thumbnail. I had very few tabs open. I mean, tonight was already a very, no pun intended, very minimal stream as it was, where I had like a total of like a dozen tabs. So, want to try that game? Dude, the game's fun. Starship Troopers Extermination is actually, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. When I'm up all night suffering from insomnia, well, isn't it, you are in Australia, so technically it is 19 hours ahead of me. So 5 hours. Okay, so it's almost 7 p.m. there. So hopefully you don't have insomnia. You should have plenty of time to get some sleep. Grinding beans is relaxing. The hatred for Helldivers 2 developers Arrowhead grows by every passing war bond that they release. Yeah, dude, almost 5 p.m. Am I getting the wrong time zone then? I thought, okay, it must be, am I thinking New Zealand is 19 hours ahead of me? I used to play with a bunch of Kiwis and stuff on Guild Wars. We lost 2 hours from the time. What? You're messing with me, right? 2 hour time change? You should play Marathon. No, man. I played Marathon on the server slam, and that was enough for me. I played it for about 4 hours. About 4 hours. You gained, we lost. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, dude, we just watched Laura Fryer's video, and yeah, the game is toast. It's just... I didn't realize that Jade Raymond worked at Stadia. It all makes sense now. It all makes absolute perfect sense. Uncertain what I'll pick up now. Just came off a 400 plus hour Crimson Desert. Oh my god, dude. Crimson Desert, I put like 20 hours into. Guys, if I could figure out, here's one of my, if I had my perfect setup, perfect world, right? I would have been an established streamer, content creator 10 years ago to where now we could just chat and stream for 8 hours a day and play video games and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, I have to pay real life bills with my real life job. So I don't get to do all that. But, you know, one of these days, hopefully I'll figure out my timing better to be able to do that. Plus, you know, when my kids have baseball season and stuff, softball, we're busy. Monday's stream might get postponed because my daughter's going to have a game at 7:15, which means I won't get home till at least 9:30. So, I don't know. Gets good 100 hours in, said the shills. Yeah, exactly. Have to play at least 20 hours to get into it like an RPG with bad gameplay, right? Come now, we don't want to double their congruent player count. Yeah, it's fun. It's good. It's good stuff. Marathon's fun, right? Okay, so I saw this from this guy, the Joker. I don't know who this is, but he says first stream back on YouTube just to test the waters. I think he's on Rumble or Kick. Rumble's unofficial manager. I don't know who this is. Spoke about recent drama surrounding many live streamers to include the quartering, and this was the result. Real talk, fuck YouTube. I think he's joking. I think he is actually... like, this is a meme. Yeah, I don't think it was an actual strike on his channel. Oh, is this dude? No, it's a different person, I think. After 3 days of sub 20,000 peak players, Marathon now has a 2-day 20,000 peak player streak. We're so back. I mean, Mossberg, here's the thing. I would never say that the game doesn't have a loyal fan base. They absolutely are. They're rabid. They are insane, right? Their fan base is nuts. The problem is it's not enough to keep the game going. Okay, so this one here, let's watch, since we're talking about the quartering anyways. We'll conclude with this one. Well, let's pull up Bearing. Bearing is a guy who has known Jeremy, the quartering, for a very long time now, right? They've streamed together for 3 or 4 years. This is a video of him discussing his personal experience recently with the quartering, all right? So let's get this properly set up here. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out from Kino Casino overnight. I'm going to miss most of it. But there will be a lot over the weekend, I'm sure, to cover. So, Helldivers devs are focusing on another project, apparently using Helldivers as a cash cow. That doesn't surprise me, dude. I mean, to some extent, it's a smart business move, right? So from like Embark Studios with Arc Raiders, they're making money like hand over fist, right? Now, the game is suffering. People are still waiting for a new map or an update that's even going to matter. But, you know, Embark's going to take that money and reinvest it into another game in the future, whatever. C-Dance AI is more fun than video games, in my opinion. Thinking about getting the unlimited plan. Dude, honestly, I've seen some really fun AI stuff. I caught the entire intro to Kino Casino's stream tonight, and I've never watched a single stream live. I always watch clips. And their 30 minutes of AI intro was incredible, right? Absolutely incredible. Wait, so another guy got his vid taken. Yeah, Luther Morgan's first video got taken down. Yeah, I think we talked about that in the last stream. So I think Jeremy is on his holidays, and he said he was going to do this shit on X, so we can only take him at his word. Yeah, so the first Luther Morgan video talking about Coffee Bread and Coffee got taken down because of like a 30-second thing where he said Jeremy's email is like, I pooped myself at Walmart at Gmail. Apparently that was the only part he had to remove to actually re-upload it, right? So his first video, we watched it on stream last time, talking about the FDA's, labeling ingredient stuff, nutrition facts stuff, where it's being made. That video got re-uploaded on YouTube. Unless you're talking about recently. I usually watch Bearing's wife. She's a hoot. I've never even watched a single Bearing video in my entire life. I just knew of him. Yeah, his second video is even more devastating. We looked at a little snippet of it a second ago, and yeah, so like I've said before, as somebody who deals with Department of Agriculture, FDA stuff, I understand what he's talking about. You have to at least put the ingredients. If you've altered the ingredients in any ways, again, if I have a bag if I'm selling like a bag of dry basil, right, for example, which I don't. I mean, I don't have that kind of long story short, if I'm selling like a bag of just dry herbs and it's just a bag of basil, you still have to put on the ingredients basil, right? Now, obviously, when you have things like flavored coffee, there's other ingredients in there as well. So to not even put what the ingredients are, let alone no nutrition facts, it's sus. It's really weird.
All right, we're going to talk about it. We're going to address the elephant in the room. The Quartering, or Jeremy, versus Kino Casino, or Andy Warski and PPP. Now, this is not going to be a normal video. This is a bit of housekeeping. And when I say housekeeping, I don't mean sweeping. I think Jeremy has majorly fucked up. No, what I mean is a lot of people have reached out to me and asked me if or when I'm going to do a video on this. And I was always gonna. I just didn't want to shoot from the hip. I've been following this situation, and I think that as time has gone on, I've sort of gained a better perspective on the matter. I've got a history with Jeremy. I did a podcast with Jeremy for like 3 years, maybe 4. I've also got a history with Andy Warski. We were doing like collabs and live streams and stuff back in like 2016, maybe 15. I mixed that rap song that got him in trouble with Francesca Ramsey back in the day. So I've been speaking to both of them, Jeremy and Andy Warski, in DMs. Now, I made it very, very clear to Jeremy, I'm addressing this. I have to address this. So he knows what's up. This isn't a fucking sniper attack. But there's going to be two kinds of people watching this video. There's going to be the people that have followed the situation, and there's going to be people who have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
I thought he was going to say people who support Jeremy and those who hate him.
about. So for those people, I'm going to do a quick sort of recap,
I think they are working on a Helldivers movie
of events, and then I'm going to add some more information to the situation and give you like my breakdown. Now, I got to say, as much as I can, I'm going to be addressing the main drama, the deplatforming stuff.
Let's see. Every coffee that she says the ingredients say beans, artificial, and natural flavors, right? But here's the thing, QC jerks. You don't have to specify like the individual, for example, with artificial and natural flavors. That's enough. That's all you have to put on there. You don't have to specify what the artificial or natural flavors are. The problem is he didn't even put the words on there at all. See, it's a technicality, right? So then people who know, oh, this is altered, I know that I have allergies to some artificial flavorings, I'm going to avoid this product. He doesn't have to specify, like this artificial ingredient has X, Y, and Z, is made from these compounds and all this stuff. It's enough that all he has to specify is, this could be an allergy issue for you if you know that you have an allergic reaction to artificial ingredients. So, right, those kind of things. That's kind of how it all works.
All the peripheral stuff, it's not that I don't care about it. It's just, it's peripheral stuff. So this is what we're talking about. This is Andy
He doesn't want to talk
from
about
the
him being a
Kino
cuck,
Casino.
apparently.
Hey everyone, as you all probably seen, the Kino Casino clip channel was
I think I can
down by the
probably
Quartering.
skip
He's
ahead a
actually
little
bragging
bit.
about it right now by showing cards on his main Twitter
We'll
page.
just play the whole thing. It's fine.
And we weren't banned off of YouTube. We weren't ban evading. I was unbanned. I tweeted about this 3 days ago, and I put the link. Well, someone just sent me a little tweet there, and I checked the link. Not even terminated. Just it's not appearing now. Okay, so he flagged or got this removed. My Andy Warski channel that was unbanned 6 months ago got that banned, and the Kino Casino clips.
Right, and so actually there's a lot of things with, there's a lot of high allergy ingredients that if your facility processes using any of these high allergens, like again, peanuts, or let's say you're selling products that are expected to be gluten-free, but you also have cross-contamination possibilities with like having products that have gluten, you have to list all that, right? You have to list all that. EU is good on that. You can get poison sold to you in the US and no one's going to inform you. Tekla, we really are a mess over here, aren't we? It's bad.
channel, even though we were unbanned.
So flagging and deplatforming and stuff in the
Yeah, soy,
content
gluten,
creator
dairy,
world is a no-no.
peanuts,
You
tree
just
nuts,
don't
the
do it.
common
It's like
allergies.
snitching in prison. We've already got enough everyday, ordinary, sensitive pussies flagging us. We don't need the extra fire. Shoe on Head said it rather succinctly here. Threatening to deplatform a channel is like threatening to use a nuke in the world of the internet. Completely against bro code. Every public figure is mocked and their personal lives gossiped about. I learn new lore about myself every day, but never threaten to destroy those.
The only time that Shiwan Head ever responded to a tweet of mine, and it's ironic that she's mentioning she learned new lore about herself every day, was one where somebody made a joke about her being trans, or I can't remember what it was, but it was an interaction her and I had about her allegedly being trans. So yeah, exactly, to her point.
People's lives. You need to apologize, etc., etc. So the Keno Casino have been A-logging Jeremy. They've been talking shit. They've been teasing him. And they've been focused on a friend that apparently Jeremy has that is involved in some like weird stuff. I'm not going to go into it. As I said, I don't want to talk about the peripherals, but it's like bull swinger stuff. I'm not going to gossip about Jeremy's personal life. I think I owe him that much, but it's like kind of part of the story. So here's the timeline of events. I might be missing a few things, but the bones are there. The 5th of April. Now you got to keep in mind, this might be like weird, fucked up Australia time. Timery do's, if you like. Like this might have actually...
We were just talking about this, Smeg. You guys having a different time zone and all that from us over here.
Actually been the 4th of April, but I've seen it like on my timeline on the 5th. PPP tweets, the Quartering and his bull are desperate to hide his bull's criminal history. They've flagged down our video, blah, blah, blah. So there's a video taken down via a privacy notice. Now the Keno Casino jump on their stream and say, Jeremy did this. I think with personal information stuff, you have to be like the guy. You have to be the guy whose personal information is exposed. So I think it might be the bull. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about this bull stuff, but it's all sort of intertwined.
How much caffeine do these guys have? That's what I want to know. Like before each stream. I swear to God, I think this what happens is their stream intro is so high energy that they just come off this high before their stream. Like I said, I've never seen one of their streams before. Like I typically watch the clips, but I'm in the car on the way to like sit in traffic for 20 minutes just to get home, so we could do dinner and I can get the kids to bed and all that. And I'm like headbanging, like my head's bobbing along with all their intros. It's crazy. Looks like a heart attack for some. RFK would rather protect industries rather than protect people from... dude, don't get me started on all this shit that we were promised that hasn't come to pass, okay?
Spastic. He's insisting that video
right
takedown wasn't him, and that one probably wasn't. He's saying, I've shown unrefuted video evidence that I have in fact not flagged you down, and you've continued to lie about me, Andy. I'll go ahead and take everything you have. I've given you clowns plenty of runway, both...
Hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Jared doesn't understand. He thinks PPL that did a collab with him, or even interacted with him in some way, have to pledge allegiance with his shitty tactics.
Dude.
Mel Mac has shown who she really is here.
All right, so Smeg, thank you for the 10, buddy. You are awesome. I'm gonna save you from a really cringe clip. We'll just play something fun for you for a second. Let me see. What have I got? I think I got this one. No, that one doesn't work. Damn, it's broken. Oh, shit. None of my clips are working. All right, fuck it. We'll just skip that. Okay, what you said there actually is really important because I had the same kind of experience with somebody like who I worked with, but I never got paid, right? The whole John Della Rose situation. It's broken. It's broken. Everything's broken. I don't know why the clips aren't working anymore. All right, so when the entire thing with John Della Rose's weird furry lolly past with his alleged domestic abuse allegations from his current or former wife or whatever, and all his weird shit that he'd been part of in the past kind of came out, he DM'd me privately, because at that point I was writing for Fandom Pulse. I was still, connected to him via like DM groups and shit. And he made this like gigantic gaslighting, narcissistic like DM and like messaging me because I was like publicly like, you guys are fucking wrong about this. You guys, they were saying that, all sorts, they were just making all sorts of fucking weird claims. And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be a journalist, like one of the good ones. And you guys are lying through your teeth. You're going to get sued for defamation. You got to knock this shit off. And that's when I decided, yeah, I'm done with these guys. I'm done. At that point, Smash JT was trying to get, a little bit of video footage out of it. So I was on his stream and he was asking me about it. So I just told him, I'm like, yeah, I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I'm done. I'm done writing for them. I have no respect for him. And then the next day in my DMs, I get this essay from him about how I needed to come back and apologize to my friends and how I needed to come groveling back and fix things with my friends, as he put it. I'm like, dude, not only are we not friends, you were supposed to start paying me for like commissions for book sales and articles that I wrote and all this stuff that I never got a dime. So I can understand this idea that, well, we were at one point connected tangentially because we were working on something together. So now you can never say a negative thing about me ever again. It's crazy. Well, yeah, exactly. Not quite a scammer, more just the gaslighter in general. Guys, I don't know why the video clips aren't working. It's just not my night, apparently. Melanie Mack is probably the only one that's going to work. Watch. No, okay, Melanie's not even working anymore. All right, fine, whatever. It's all good. Oh, I know why. We're on the wrong screen. They're set up for the smaller screen, guys. That's why. So yeah, I can. Thanks for the 10 Smeg. Long story short, you are 1,000% correct about that.
Publicly and privately. Enough is enough, too bad. He continues, first will be your YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion.
Streamer difficulties, Korean Cowboy.
Will be your kick. I literally begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me. If these clowns keep going after my friends and family just because they don't like me, I will in fact take everything they have and never apologize for it. Psycho weirdos are messaging my wife, calling her phone, people are harassing my friends, roast me, fine. There used to be a line, my wife and my family are being harassed, blah, blah, blah. They have no rules, and starting today, neither do I. All their fans justifying making my wife live in terror. I hope you all support them financially because it's your fault they're about to lose $100,000 a year. And
it's crazier than this because in this video, I don't even think he addresses all the stuff that happened with Stutter and Craig, where he was all like, I'm going to take a new scalp every day at 2 p.m. I'm going to, out somebody, these fake friends of mine, side scrollers, and, geeks and gamers and Yellow Flash. I'm taking a new scalp a day, and this never happened.
This is Jeremy reaching out to Eddie, the owner of Kick, the platform that the casinos stream on. So he's saying, look, I'm kind of a big deal. Reach out, I got something to talk about with you.
Yeah, it's massive, Smeg. It's
He's
huge.
talking about yeeting their channels publicly. He's wanting to make inroads with Eddie from Kick. And then he jumps on the DMs with none other than fucking Josh from Kiwi Farms. I mean, this is incredible. So he starts this negotiation.
Well, Rumble's not paying him anymore.
Josh, I guess. I'm not going to read all these. You can zoom in if you want. But he's saying more of the same stuff, like, I'm a big deal. I could get them taken down.
Well, you see, Truth, the thing was, he was trying to be the honest, the journalist for gamers, the journalist for actual comic book fans, the non-woke, and all that, and that's fine, independent people writing articles and blogs and this and that. I mean, I'm cool with that. I like to write stuff occasionally, put on my website. I haven't done it for a while because I've been too damn busy to actually write. But it's one of those situations where it's like, if you want to present yourself as being the honest face of like actual journalism, and then because some dude embarrassed you, you're going to spread. Well, here's the long and the short of it. Daniel Vavra over at Warhorse, the guy that made the abomination that was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I say that as somebody who really loved the first game. And I think the second game probably is like playable, but there's just those questionable parts of the game. John Delarose is the one who basically said, oh, wait a second, these characters were 15. It's a pedophilic game, and there's pedophilia in the game. And it's like, dude, the first game had sex in it too, and the characters are 30. They're not 15. Yes, based on historically accurate characters, sure. But they're portrayed as 30-year-olds. It's fine. He ran with that, and him and John Trent made like 5 articles on it. So it was in that situation where I'm like, you are becoming everything you said you wanted to fight, because here you are using your media site to attack somebody who said something you don't like, and you're using it as like a weapon. And I'm like, dude, you're a journalist. You're no better than they are, Rumble does pay. So here's the thing. Big content creators like The Quartering, he got a contract, a guaranteed amount of money to go to Rumble. For anybody else, I don't have a YouTube like contract. I make a little bit of money on ad revenue or like super chats, that kind of stuff. That's just the usual YouTube partner situation, is you make whatever you make on YouTube, right? And that's just through your ad revenue and stuff. Other sites will attract a content creator to go to that site, like Kick or Twitch or whatever. And there are content creators, the ones that are big enough that they will pay them a contract to stick around. The Quartering got one of those contracts worth like $5 million to go to Rumble and live stream there every single day. The problem is Rumble's not making any money, and they're no longer doing contracts. They're ending contracts for all of their content creators. So now it's just going to be whatever you can scratch, out of like a tiny bit of ad revenue. And Rumble's ad revenue is awful because their ads are awful because nobody wants to put ads on their site. So yeah, Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble, he put a new plan going forward saying that there's no one getting paid big contracts because the money's not there. The money is gone.
Takes one phone call.
You died in your
bang,
game? Oh,
you're
I'm sorry,
fucking
dude.
Gone. It's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's fucking gay, man. I'm sorry, Jeremy. It's fucking gay. I was watching a Nicholas Diorio video the other day. I think he was counting the amount of times that Jeremy threatened
Yeah,
to have
it's
their channel.
28 times. I'm pretty sure he threatens them 28 times to take down their channel. Twitch Morons Big kicked off for the millions to go to Kick, and Kick just sends them an application for a normal sign-up. That's hilarious.
Terminated. And I think I stopped watching after like 28 times.
Yeah, I think is that 28? Are we going back to counting again?
The 10th of April, Jeremy jumps on Twitter and says, I'm sorry, guys, I've been a bit of a dick. I got triggered. I'm sorry to my audience. I will not take down their channel. That's cringe. He got met with a bunch of replies from like other creators saying, yeah, bro, that's fucking cringe. You need to apologize to Kino Casino because this is gay. One of those people was Shoe on Head, that tweet we saw before saying, look, you got to apologize. And Jeremy responds, oh shoot, on that second part, I will never apologize to these fucking losers who circulate Photoshop.
All right, so he's really just rehashing most of the same stuff. I want to jump ahead real quick. I know that he's going through day by day, but I think we all pretty much have a pretty good idea of what's been going on. I think that there is a specific part in here where he actually talks about him talking to Jeremy behind the scenes. And I think it's right about right here. Let's go ahead and jump ahead here.
28 times.
Yeah, I think is that 28? Are we going back to counting again?
28 threats, right? In the DMs to Josh and in public on Twitter. He threatened to have Kino Casino's clip channel yeeted 28 times. Now, there's a number of possibilities here. Like he said, did he call his non-Indian YouTube rep? Did he just trigger a flagging war? You see, on the internet, there's always people that fucking hate you. There's people that hate me. There's people that hate Kino Casino. There's people that hate Jeremy. So as soon as they see this, they see blood in the water. Oh, Jeremy's threatening to have the Kino Casino's clip channel taken down. Let's fucking start mass flagging the Kino Casino clip channel. Jeremy.
That's exactly it too, what Jeremy doesn't realize. It very well could be people who hate Jeremy who flag Kino Casino because they want to blame it on Jeremy. Because Jeremy's the one that opened his mouth and he's like, I could take him down, right? When Zelt's trying to purge anything that resembled their so-called... Yeah. So Goonergate was October of 2024, as I recall. It was more than a year ago now. And that was just Melanie Mack piggybacking off of Dread Roberts criticizing First Descendant and her going straight up, yes, this is porn, and then Razorfist retweeting her. John Della Rose running to both their defense, both of them saying, I don't know who the fuck you are, go away. And Quartering sticking up for Melanie because she was his co-host. Yeah, that was the long and the short of it.
He's going to get the blame for it, and happy fucking days. That is a very real possibility. But Jeremy still started that fucking war by acting like a big man. By saying, one phone call, I'll get your channel terminated. You know what I mean? And now there's multiple fucking casualties. Like Alyssa Clips has been getting flagged. Josh from Kiwi Farms, he's been getting flagged too. That Luther Morgan, the author of the LOLcow book, he's been getting flagged. A guy called Rant Man, he's been getting flagged too. It's because this frenzy has been started. So whether it's Jeremy or not hitting the button, he's still responsible, especially given Jeremy's take on online harassment. See, when I got in touch with Jeremy, I said, did you flag the Kino Casino Clips channel?
This is the part I wanted to listen to.
It was defensive. It was more than defensive. It was, you're taking up for the casino, you're on their side.
Well, that's the thing though, Elgon, is I can't imagine why people listen to Melanie. Like, I understand maybe you agree with some of her takes or whatnot. That's fine. But she's genuinely listening to her speak. I know Jeremy's got this thing where he just keeps going, and he stutters and he stammers and always sounds out of breath and anxious. It's unpleasant to listen to. For Melanie, it's this constant, shaky, annoying, wavery voice mixed with like that shrill. It's just everything about it is bad. I don't understand. No, Dread, Dread Roberts did not delete his channel. He stopped making videos, and he's going to be a game developer now, so we'll see how that goes. Her voice is terrorism, yeah.
As if I'm some sort of traitor. Like, I'm not in the fucking T-Birds gang. I take up for myself. And right now, the people that watch my videos, consume my content, want me to talk about this. And I gotta say, I'm slightly fucking perturbed about this too. So anyway, Jeremy said no, he did not flag the casino's channel. He said all those threats that I made were just me bluffing. It might have been my audience, but I think they know I wouldn't want that. I mean, really? Do they really know that? You just publicly said several.
So, Fratanga's not usually wrong. You might not always agree with his takes. Like, I know that he's got a lot of, like, controversial opinions compared to, like, your average right-winger, anti-woke or whatever. And Frit does like to punch people while they're down. But he's also entertaining. And at the same time, it's like, if you're looking for entertainment, I have no qualms about that. But yeah, Frit, honestly, he's got a decent radar for bullshit, you know?
Times that you want this channel terminated. But anyway, he said it was all a bluff and he had to do it because they were harassing his wife. So I said, really? Andy and PPP are harassing your wife? Because from what I've seen, they tend to say, don't harass Jeremy's wife. So I asked him, can you show me? Can you show me an example of this? Help me understand. And the response was, just go look at the farms, as in Kiwi farms. So I said, wait, you're talking about random people on Kiwi farms? Kiwi Farms once had a rumour that I was a pedo and my wife was a 15-year-old Filipino girl I was holding prisoner. Shortly after I realised it wasn't Kiwi Farms, it was like another gossip site. I don't think it's around anymore. But just for the record, my wife is a year younger than me and she's a half Filipino that I hold prisoner. But my point is, if the casino are responsible for what random people on Kiwi Farms do, then surely Jeremy is responsible for what his audience does. I mean,
bingo. I think that right there is the most important takeaway, is the fact that here's Jeremy blaming these two morons on the internet. Because let's be fair, Kino Casino, they'll tell you they're just two retards on the internet, right? And he's blaming them for what anybody in their audience, perceived, audience, might be doing. And yet he's doing the same thing. He's going, oh, I could take their channels. I could do this. I could do that. These guys are awful. But, it's not my fault if my viewers flag their channel, right? I'm also half Filipino and white. Dude, I know a few Filipino families, and it's the craziest thing because we knew this one, they play baseball with our kids through our Little League, and their kids, I think they all learn Japanese. And so when I first met them, I thought that the parents were Japanese. Then I found out only later on they were Filipino. I'm like, I guess they do look more Filipino. But I'm like, but then their kids know like English and Japanese. And I'm like, this is so strange. I had such a hard time understanding like what the dynamic was going on there. But yeah, the parents are both like medical field and super successful and stuff. Guy who aspired to be Nintendo game dev, that was Sungrand Studio. I don't know what happened to Sungrand. I have wished him well, and I never want to see him again at this point. The dude basically was using the whole thing as a way to like get a leg up, and then he wanted to pretend he wasn't a YouTuber, despite the fact that he had 100,000 subs and videos with hundreds of thousands of views. But then when it came to, oh no, now that I have to criticize Nintendo, I can't criticize them because I want to get a job at Nintendo one day. He basically decided, I'm not making these kind of videos anymore. He had a complete crash out, dude. It was a total massive crash out. It was crazy. So with Sungrand, I just couldn't anymore. I couldn't take the BS stories and all that. It was just another cluster B maniac. I do went complete batshit crazy. Filipino mix into so many cultures than actually Filipino culture most of the time. That's crazy.
Isn't that Jeremy's standard? It's a dumb standard. It's one we fought against for years. You're not responsible for what your audience does. Jeremy's problem is that he's trying to defend himself in the court of public opinion. And unfortunately, he's like reversed the burden of proof. See, if Kino Casino's channel just got flagged down and they said, oh, it was Jeremy, you could easily say, well, prove it. But because Jeremy fucking bloviated about, I can get your channel taken down, I'm gonna get your channel taken down. And because it happened shortly after, people reckon he did it. And that's not gonna change because it's...
Yeah, Sungrand, he also attracted a lot of people that were like absolutely like hating on him, pissed at him and stuff. So there was this one guy that his entire YouTube channel was he would just rip Sungrand's videos and re-upload them basically completely unaltered, other than he'd like maybe zoom in or speed up the video a little bit, whatever. It was crazy. Did he go the Chris Stuckman route and lose all his credibility? What did Chris Stuckman do again? I can't remember. Oh, Sungrand, what a letdown, dude. Crazy. The dude's crash out was legendary. He did this this incredibly insane thing where he lectured his entire audience and said, you guys are the ones who are hateful, and I never wanted to be hateful, and I was just trying to fix things, and now you guys have ruined it for everybody because of your hateful comments, and I've seen the things you guys say in the comments, and that was never my intent, and now I can't do this anymore because of you guys, right? Literally, that's what Sungrand did. That was what he did. Then he came back a couple days later with another video, and he was all smiling like, hi, guys. Okay, now that that's over, I had to get rid of a few bad actors that were just taking things too far, but I'm still the same guy. It was like, holy shit, man. My dad's a pilot and his brother was an ophthalmologist. That's crazy. He was a movie critic that refused to review any movies negatively. Oh, okay, yeah. So with Sungrand, it seemed much more like he realized he had criticized everybody pretty heavily except Nintendo when it came to the business practices of how like they were putting out certain games that were just like a rip-off or their pricing or whatever. And remember, most of his shovelware type games that Sungrand made, he were only on the eShop. So when it came down to it, he's like, wait a second, I can't criticize Nintendo, or they're not going to give me some deal in the future, or I'm not going to get preferential treatment or whatever. So that's when he decided to completely ditch the business suit, business meeting persona. And yeah, that was... Fertanga covered him quite a bit. I thought about making videos about him. I talked about him on live streams, and then one time he popped in, and I'm like, hey, man, we're talking about you. He's like, oh, I'm not that important. I'm like, well, I know you're not, but you're kind of melting down here. Like, you're kind of losing your mind. Like, what's going on? And he straight up was like, oh, no, that was just an act. Everything's good. I'm like, so were you acting then, or are you acting now? Oh, dude, it was nuts. I don't even know if he still watches my shit. I don't even know if he still bothers to care or if he's still around or not. Like, I know that he still uploads once in a while. I'll occasionally come like scroll across and see something, but yeah, massive crash out. Dread wasn't a crash out like that. Dread was just well, I'm done making culture commentary. I'm gonna make video games, and basically I can't criticize things if I'm making games. So I'm like, all right, well, reminds me of Pirate Software, just dumber. Yeah.
Very hard to prove a negative. I mean, there's several factors here. He started a flagging.
That would explain it, Mossberg. That makes sense.
Non-Indian YouTube rep. YouTube
when
are
I
sending him
when I put on the suit, I become a different person.
Report emails. You're fucked. So I suppose I'll address Jeremy directly. Listen, Jeremy, stop taking yourself so seriously. You're a YouTuber. Being a YouTuber is fun, and you're not having fun. Which
this isn't fun. I'm miserable right now.
You can't control what other people say about you, and trying is going to lead to a bad time. Just look at the last couple of weeks. Being a content creator is easy. It can be stressful sometimes. I understand that. You can worry too much about numbers and stats.
This is one of those moments where, as awful like the stress in my real life job is, this is one of those moments that I'm glad I don't make that much money on YouTube, because it does limit the expectations that you have and the ability to become reliant on it as a job. And I know that there's people out there who are like, yeah, but I wish I was a full-time content creator. It's like, sure. In my perfect world, I could do YouTube and streaming and stuff full time, as long as my bills, I knew they were already taken care of. Like, let's say you have retirement, or let's say you have like, you win the lottery or some shit, and you go, hey, I'll just do this the rest of my time because I don't have to work anymore. I would probably never have the stones to actually rely on YouTube or streaming for a career. No matter how good or how terrible I was at it, no matter how much money I thought I could make on it, there's just no way that I would rely on YouTube or any other platform for that matter to be a consistent career that would pay all my bills. I just couldn't do it. I might become a content creator. Good luck, man. Suffer. I'll suffer for sure. Yeah. The early 2000s was the best time for full-time YouTube content. Yeah. It's always others' fault. That's the way a lot of people are. A lot of people are always like that, you know? And that doesn't mean that there are still people who blow up, people who become overnight successes, usually artificially, propped up. A lot of TikTok retards and the Twitch streamers and Kick and stuff, and the IRL streamers, the claviculars and all that. When you find out he's actually being bankrolled by Peter Thiel and he's really some guy's like bottom bitch boy kind of thing or whatever. It's like, yeah, there are people like that. But I'm talking like the genuinely organic people who just, for whatever reason, their channel blows up. It happens, but I think it's more rare, Imagine staking your entire economic future on Google's algorithm. Yeah, dude, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like, imagine, well, this is a monster of his own making. So Jeremy's stress level, he's probably under, right? Because he has put this unreasonable expectation on himself that he has to get a certain number of views or he's going to be a failure. Well, okay, so whether you think he's a success or a failure is your own opinion. Clearly, whatever he's doing in life isn't working, so he's failing at life currently. But he's got enough money that he could just literally streamline what he's doing, get rid of all the other bullshit channels, fire everybody, cut all the extra crap, and then just live happily in his house that he built in the middle of nowhere with all of his property and his dogs and all of his toys, and just do one YouTube channel and one live stream a day, and he'd probably be just fine. I'm sure he would be just fine. Get rid of all the bloat, the coffee company, the extra employees, all that shit. He doesn't need it because it's not making any money. And I'm sure it's just an added source of stress. But I think for whatever reason, when YouTube was no longer becoming like the thing that he thought it was going to be, which is crazy to say because he's got 2 million freaking subs. But clearly he's not in the favor of the algorithm anymore, or he's just, I don't know. He's addicted to his ego. I think that's got to be part of what it is. He just can't let go. He can't. I think it's one of these things where these guys get stuck in their high school days where like they used to be the star quarterback on the team kind of thing. For Jeremy, I remember him saying years ago that his channel essentially had plateaued and was in the end of its career, right? But here you are like 4 or 5 years later, and you're making the most unimaginative, miserable slop content you could possibly make. And you look miserable doing it, and yet here you are like chaining yourself to that table, making 100 hours of slop every single day. Luther's new vid pointed out he may have taken a loan against his house to keep CBC afloat. I think he pointed that out in the first video. I remember seeing that, and I didn't see that in the second video. That he had mentioned, yeah, because he talked about spending the $80,000 or whatever of his own money for like equipment or coffee or whatever. And then the $300,000 loan, like against his mortgage or whatever. It was a theory, but it's probably true. It was probably true. But even that being said, look, the man has an ungodly amount of toys for somebody who's 44 years old. Like, dude, sell some of that shit. Get rid of the Tesla, the Cybertruck, whatever, and he'll be just fine.
You're aware that your whole platform and livelihood could be yanked away from you at any moment, which is what makes all this so fucking egregious. The casino's editor, as I understand, was the owner and sole beneficiary of that Clips channel. He's got a family and his livelihood was just taken away. I'm sure this is a hard thing to hear, but you seem to be spiraling. I can see it in your mannerisms. I can see it in your appearance. I can see it in your interactions. We can all...
So... not to derail what Bering was saying right here at this point, JG, what you were saying is actually pretty accurate. And I was noticing this because Kino Casino, they were going through all these clips of Jeremy when he was streaming a game. When I'm streaming a game, and it's really hard to stream a game, truly enjoy it and split your attention with chat and then not look like your DSP while you're gaming. Yes, I'm Darkside Dan or whatever, Darkside Tebow when you guys watch me play video games and shit. Because I'm splitting my attention between chat and the game. I will never be that person when I'm streaming that only reads super chats. I fucking hate that. I will never be that person. I don't care if there's 20 people in the chat, 100 people in the chat, or 1,000. I'm not just going to selectively just respond to super chats. That is, in my mind, one of the worst traits of a streamer or a YouTuber or whatever. I hate that. I want to interact with people. That being said, it's really hard to do that when you're playing a game, right? There are a ton of streamers that only do supers. I know. And to each their own, do what you want. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Now, look, if you have a guest on and you and your guest are chatting, I've had that before where we had Empress on, we had, Mr. Hardcore Mode on, we had Kilted Cajun on a couple times. It is hard to have a conversation with guests if you have a lively chat and read out loud every single thing. But you can at least like respond in the chat, or you can acknowledge, and I'll still read even if I don't read out loud every single chat. But in a situation like this where I'm playing a game, it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to do that. But when I watched these clips of Jeremy playing games on stream, he looked like he was absolutely having no fun while doing it. Now, part of it's because he was drunk and looked like he was about to pass out. But it's one of those things where it's like I feel like he's just going through the motions of the things that he knows he used to love. Like, oh yeah, I like nerdy stuff. I like video games. I used to like these 20 years ago. And here I am, this workaholic who's drinking himself to death and has no life, no kids, no future. My wife and I have no relationship. And I'm just going to sit here and play this game to my audience because I'm a content creator, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a big shot. And I talk about video games and I used to love them at some point, but there's no love anymore. You know, oh, you're constantly banning people all the time. Well, that's because now he's become a lolcow. My point is more the fact that it's like he just looks like he's not having any fun, you know? Has he always been broken? I mean, so John, I don't have the clips because you know, Smeg could tell you, Kino Casino's been going over a lot of this stuff. They're going to be streaming all night long talking about this stuff. Apparently, even when he proposed to his wife, he did it in such a way that basically, I guess he like threw the ring on the ground, didn't even get down on one knee. Talks about how their marriage is sexless, that they have basically, he wishes he was married to a woman 10 years younger. He was talking to Carl Benjamin at one point years ago about who he'd be interested in to date or marry or whatever. It's just sad. You know, top tier tism. He talked about how basically he can't relate to people. He can't connect to people, even his wife. He doesn't know how to be around people. He wishes sometimes he could. This was in the clip that we didn't see from Kino Casino because their clip was shortened. He ends that part of that clip by saying basically he wishes sometimes he could run away from it all and get himself like a little 2-bedroom apartment, have his room and like a streaming room set up in, and just get away from all this. It's like, and he's talking about not just life or his job or his whatever. He's talking about his wife as well. So, yeah, no, his wife is a successful I think she was formerly in pharmaceuticals. I think he said, remember, he's talked about his wife many times. She has like a master's or a bachelor's or whatever. I think she was like in medicine or medical field or something. She's got her pilot's license. He's bought her like multiple planes. Lugia, it seems like, and this is from Hillary Crowder after Stephen and Hillary had their big messy breakup divorce when she was pregnant with his twins and all that crap. But this could just be, spiteful woman gossip here. But she claimed years ago that Jeremy and his wife were only staying together because it was convenient for both of them to keep the persona, the appearance that he was this right-wing conservative Christian, wholesome guy. He had to have the wife, otherwise he would look like this straight up loser, He can literally do streaming if he will stop drinking and not being on the stupid on the internet. Except the issue for Jeremy, and you can see in his current streams, he's always checking his pulse. He's terrified to look at his chat because now his chat's just full of people who are making fun of him. So at this point now, he's off of his stream for like a week. They're taking a week off. What's going to be really fascinating to see is if he brings back Hannah Claire and Melanie Mac when he comes back, if he comes back at all. How would your wife feel if you said that to her? I'd rather be a woman 10 years younger than me, and I only need to see my wife 30 minutes a week. Yeah, my wife is a stage 4 clinger. So let me tell you, even nights where I stay up late streaming and all that, she's like, okay, come to bed. Like 11:30, it's like, come to bed. No worries, Empress. I couldn't get the redirect set up the last time. I'll try to get it to work this time. YouTube hates me. When I go to the actual stream customization, it won't let me search half the time for your channel. It's so stupid. So the trolls dropping coded DSP comments in Jeremy's chat is hilarious. I didn't even see that. That's crazy. No, but dude, honestly, I can't imagine being married to somebody like that and staying with him unless theory time, they're in an open relationship and they really don't have a relationship currently at all anymore, and that's how they live their life, You hate me. That's okay.
You'll see it in your nightly rage tweets that inevitably get deleted the next morning. You got to lay off whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah,
which I
relating
assume
people's
is
heart
too
when they do
much
something else
alcohol.
other than what I want.
I'm not saying that
Exactly.
from a high horse. I had problems with alcohol like 4 years ago, to the point my doctor said, listen, sport, if you don't knock it off, you're going to get liver troubles. You can hear it in my videos from back then. I'd lost my spark.
All right, I'll
now,
check, Empress.
I
Don't worry.
drink at all. I'm physically fit, and with that comes mental clarity and stability. I've got my spark back. It's really fun again. Think about taking some time off. You've got the money to do it. You've got a wife. You've got...
No, the thing with my wife and I is we get along so well that we've talked about it, and like we've joked with our kids when they go, oh, you know, which one of us would, who would get the kids if you guys got divorced? And we're like, guys, you don't understand. Like, if we got divorced, nothing would change. We'd still be living in the same house. Like, we would still be cohabitating. We would still be living like in the same house, parenting the kids together. Like, maybe one of us would sleep in a different room or something. I'm like, you guys wouldn't really notice any bit of a difference because we don't, I can't imagine at this point ever have like her or I ever hating the other one enough to even bother like breaking up or moving out. You know, it's crazy. Rest just noise. Life gets better once you're not fat. Dude, honestly, I mean, that's one thing I have going for me is I can't gain weight anyways, so I'll never be fat. Out of shape? Sure. Bad back? Yeah. Tendonitis on my right elbow? Sucks ass, but whatever. Bearing is right here. Jared has no passion. Dude, he has zero passion. Even somebody like me, who I'm more laid back when I'm streaming or making videos. I try to be more even keel, more logical. I'm not one of these over the top, like I'm not Kino Casino. Okay, first off, even if I had my own office for streaming, let's say, you know, it wasn't a situation where I'm always sharing a wall with one of my kids with my office. So like this wall I share with my younger son, right? It's pretty soundproof in here. I know he's asleep, but I still don't want to get super loud and screaming and jumping up and down. I probably would never resort to those antics like Kino Casino has. It's just not in my personality, right? But that being said, there's a lack. I still have a passion for what we're doing here that Jeremy just doesn't seem to possess. There's no love, there's no passion, there's no energy, there's no creativity, there's absolutely nothing. He is completely, I joke about being dead inside, right? It's an Office meme. It's Michael Scott, you know, that's why I joke about it. He truly is the saddest looking person on the internet right now. And it's not just his face, it's everything about him, his entire personality, his entire aura. Everything about him is sad, you know? You have way more energy and can actually speak the English language. That depends on the day. Some days, like, I get a little tired and words kind of blah, blah, blah. Get a little tongue-tied. Low T plus obesity is a deadly combo. For real, dude. 100%. I like to blame my high testosterone on the reason I'm going bald, but unfortunately, that seems like it's all BS, but who knows? But no, Bearing is 100% dead on with this one. It's the alcohol, it's his perception of life, of his expectations, of what he's currently going through. It's all of it.
3 dogs, you've got acreage. Work on your physical and mental health and come back for the redemption arc. Everyone loves a redemption arc. And a good...
He's sad because he's currently everybody's punching bag. So he is just... Well, and if he is truly in an unhappy marriage, but he was able to keep that under wraps up until now... with all the cuck allegations and his wife sleeping around allegedly, like, again, these are allegations that would imply, we all know this. If you're in, I shave my head short. I shave it short. Don't worry. If you're in an open relationship as the man, you're not getting any. Your wife is getting 10 times more than you are. So that would make any man miserable and humiliated, right? And we don't know that they're in an open relationship. It's just a theory based on who he's friends with and who he hangs out with. And the way that Jeremy talks about women around other women he's a co-host with, or, you know, that work for him. So, yeah. His wife is nice looking. I personally wouldn't say his wife is hot. I think she's a nice looking woman. And so she's definitely too good looking for him. You know? Yeah, Weimar type shit. Yeah, for real.
Faith effort to help the
yeah,
boys
they're seeing through the delusion that he's crafted. Exactly.
But you need to get your spark back. I hope you get your spark back. The Jeremy of 5, 6, 7 years ago, the guy who built that 2 million subscriber channel, he'd agree with me.
Flagging videos between YouTubers is especially egregious. From an angry fan,
I know he's younger, and we all look better when we're younger. Okay. as somebody who has got just a little over 1 month left until he hits 40, I'm going to say this very much like this applies to me. We all prefer how we look when we're younger. However, this is not the same guy. Even if this video is 5, 6, 7 years old, this is not the same guy that is currently going on streams, looking miserable, checking his pulse. I mean, I think he's 100 pounds heavier now, and he's clearly overweight in this video here. This video, this is early years of the quartering here. This is like going back like maybe closer to 10 years, I imagine. But it's just, yeah. What Baron doesn't realize is this guy was always performing. He's never been authentic. That's kind of what I feel like. A lot of people have bought into it, have been like, well, Jeremy is a good guy, but he's got this or that. And it's like, maybe the lie is that he was never actually a good guy. Maybe the persona he decided to craft for himself years later, because this man has changed content. He was a quarter of his current size. Oh my God, dude. The dude has changed his content so many different times that it always has seemed like he's just been chasing an audience, chasing the algorithm, chasing a fan base. And remember, he said that he would rather connect with anonymous people online than people in real life. So if that is true, then everything. I bet you used to get carded if you buy beer. No, not with the beard. Not with the beard. And the beard's got enough gray in it. I don't get carded unless, the machines nowadays, like if you go through register, self-checkout, they have to come look at your ID and scan it. But at a restaurant, oh no, I don't get carded. No, it's, I didn't get carded for my 21st birthday, and I was clean shaven and baby-faced for that. I was so mad, but we had made a big deal about it being my 21st, and the woman did not take my ID. It pissed me off so bad. Oh, this boils down to a quarter with him, doesn't it? Yep, every time. He had pink eye? Oh, God. Oh, what is that? What is that? You're not kidding. Oh.
This is already bad. But from another YouTuber, it's about as egregious an offense.
That's why he's squinting. Oh, God, isn't pink eye from when you get fecal matter in your eye? I grew a beard. No. I did. That's not the. I prefer to have facial hair. I after years of being clean shaven, I've decided I prefer to have a beard. Did they say to your wife, how nice you brought your little son along? No, actually, because both of us look young. So that is one nice thing. Despite the roughness of having twins at the same time as having a 2-year-old, my wife and we both look young for our age. So we're in pretty good condition there. Neither one of us feel young. God, it's like every day getting out of bed, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But, oh my God. The weird video of him talking about how you should clear your computer. Yes, this the CP stuff. That was his computer tech era of YouTube for Jeremy. He did a lot of stuff with a tech website that he had, tech tips and stuff. Remember, he's done the claw machines. He's done all. This man has changed his content, like, I don't know, across 15 years on YouTube. I think he's changed his content like a half dozen times or more. No, Smash, I am going to bed. I know Empress is up. I don't know who else is still up. I was going to go raid her stream in a minute. I appreciate it though, Smash, but I'm going to hit the hay soon, dude. I got to sleep. Dude, I appreciate you asking first. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, it's basically, we're getting closer to morning now here. Although Smash and I are both West Coast, so it's only 12:30 here, but more like unlive. It's marathon player count time. Oh my God. If it gets too gray, you got the darkening product. Looks like tacky if a guy has a big gray beard. No, here's the thing. My beard has got like the salt and pepper thing going on. I'm not doing the Jack Murphy thing. No way.
In my opinion, get out in front of it, apologize, do what you can to make things right, and then take a week off. Get off Twitter, stay off YouTube.
Should have listened to his own advice, man.
People will move on. Okay? People will move on. There'll be another meme. Right now, you're the meme.
I cannot believe every time I see Jeremy give somebody else advice, whether it's Boogie or whether it's Matt Jarbo, all these guys that have run into issues in their own personal lives as YouTubers. He's got, so Mari, a lot of people hypothesize about all the addictions he has. He's an alcoholic. He drinks too much. Smokes weed. I think he smokes cigarettes or did smoke cigarettes. Overeats. Obviously, he's overweight. He's a ticking time bomb when it comes to his health. He's just a mess, you know? So just shows he's performative. He lies all the time. Yeah, the Jack Murphy beard. No, I've got like underneath on the bottom of the beard, there's some gray in there, some gray speckled in, but like not too terrible. If it was worse than it is now, I'd consider like dyeing it, but I don't really feel like dyeing my beard, guys. Like, nah. That's some weak sauce there, man. Mari, he's only gonna find peace if he gets off the internet. He needs to literally, I know he's taking a break for spring break for like, you know, a week off his live streams. He's still uploading. And see, the problem is, guys, and I'll show you before I get the redirect set up for Empress here. The issue really comes down to when you go to YouTube and you go to the actually like, hang on, let me show you guys. I did this earlier and I could not believe the results, right? Check this out. All right, just from Mandan Edition. I search the quartering. Okay? I just put in the keywords the quartering. How they feel during long sessions? Well, you know, I don't actually stream with them on. I usually just have those for games. I'll listen to them, turn them up so I can hear. For actual gaming, not bad. They're actually pretty comfy. They're just, you know, Razer. They came in a set from Costco years ago with my keyboard and my mouse. They're decent, yeah. Yeah, Smeg, look at this. So his channel is here at the very top. So you search the quartering, and here he is, that little icon at the top where you can subscribe, right? But when you look at the actual content, where's his? You know? It doesn't exist. None of his videos pop up. Everything that pops up is people talking about him. And this is the issue that he has. This is probably the thing that's bothering him the absolute most, is because he can't control this. Remember, he's a big like marketing guy. He got his degree, his career was marketing before YouTube, right? So for him, it's all about controlling the SEO, the search terms, the search engine optimization, the tags, the things that he uses, the titles, the clickbait thumbnails, all of that. That is what he has been able to control his entire time doing YouTube. Here's the first quartering video. Here is the first quartering video that popped up on this entire feed. And it's from a video from a day ago that only got 39,000 views. He should box Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde should have knocked some sense into him, dude. He was supposed to be training him to fight RTU years ago, and the whole thing fell apart. He did like 6 years at a community college, can't read and can't find Iran on a map. Yeah, but dude, he made money. That's the craziest part, man. He made money in marketing. He had money, clearly, because he had money before YouTube, you know? JG, the irony there is not lost on me, okay? The irony is not lost on me. Trust me, I am surrounded by people. So currently, you know, we're coming back from spring break, and all of the Little League families where we are all talking to each other. We're there. We've got our kids there. We're, you know, doing our thing. And you overhear the conversations from everybody else going, oh, how was your spring break? Where did you guys go? Oh, we went to Hawaii. Which island? Oh, we went to the big island. Oh, yeah, we were in Europe, or we went to this and that. I'm over here like, yeah, my kids are homeschooled. I can't afford to go anywhere. We don't travel. We don't vacation. So I don't really have anything in common with you people. And that's just kind of like this world that, you know, other people live in, where it's like Jeremy had money. Jeremy had money long before he did YouTube, you know? His parents financed him, maybe. Might be a Nepo baby. Loves Rakai. Fuck that, dude. No. So there's a lot of people who make very good livings doing I don't know what, because I've never had a real job my entire life. And a lot of these people are, you know, professionals. They work for the city. They work for the state. One of these guys is like an airline pilot and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. That's great. Good for you. You make more money in a week than I probably make in a month, you know. Never vacation until I became an adult. Well, yeah, but then having kids will definitely make that harder. His parents owned seven rental homes before. That's insane. That's nuts. One story is that he got his degree or whatever through his parents' involvement. Yeah, that's the thing I've heard about, like getting the lobster grades for COD work or whatever. I'm not quite sure. I thought that was like a grade school story or whatnot. All right, guys, I gotta hit the hay. I wasn't planning on being up this late. And now I'm going to have to get up, jump out of bed, and mow the yard half asleep. But yeah, I won't be back until Monday, maybe. Most pilots are broke with multiple divorced ex-wives having kids to send money. Oh, not these airline pilots over here. These guys, the tenured ones in, like, I think he flies for Alaska. There's some... This dude, he's loaded. He's very, very well off. I don't think his wife works anymore. I'm pretty sure she doesn't work. And no, they've got like the Tesla and travel and all, you know, the big nice house and all that good stuff, and the boat for going out on the summer and all that shit. It's just it's nice. It's great, whatever. How was your weekend? My weekend hasn't started. No, I'm sad. My daughter's team lost last night. We were 5-0 and then we lost. The whole damn thing fell apart. So we got to get some revenge next Monday. But Monday, I have a 7:15 softball game that I have to help coach. I don't know that I'll be able to make the stream on Monday night because of the timing. I'll see what I can get set up. If I can get the stream ready before I even leave to go to the game, then we will keep the Monday stream and we'll just do that. But I might have to bump it otherwise. Oh, no, I'm sleazy. I would definitely say sleazy for sure. Yeah. Oh, I know, dude. But my daughter, she's competitive. She hates losing. She's kind of like the anchor on that team. So I told her, you're the mama duck out there. You got to stay positive. So can't afford vacations. I'm proud to have my wife not work. Dude, for real. I mean, mine works from home, but it's like, it's not a full-time thing, and we homeschool. That's the homeschooling, and taking care of the house is worse than her actual job. So, all right, guys. Take it easy. You all be safe. I'm going to send everybody over to Empress's channel. I believe she's playing Crimson Desert, so maybe if you're going to be up, hang out for a bit with her. Oh, thanks, Mari. I'll try to. Everyone, be safe. Have a good weekend. I will check back in with you guys, let you know what the plan is for Monday. And in the meantime, no, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say some shit about the quartering, but I'm just going to let it be. I'm not going to be spiteful. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Take it easy.